right. Don't know how we're going to do this. I guess everybody kind of forgot it was coming on a little bit early tonight. But we're down to the final 3 games in the McGreevy Enough Said League. So, League MVP is Napoleon Lajoie. And the Manager of the Year is MV for Manchester. So, all teams are eliminated as far as the championship goes, so Manchester has already clinched it. And what we have now in these final 3 games is the battle for the visitor slot in our mini World Series. So Cleveland, Philadelphia, Providence, and Bellingham and Butler are sort of in there. And depending upon who shows up or not, it would depend on what games that we do. As far as the games that we're really going to highlight are going to be Providence and Manchester and Cleveland and Philadelphia. Cleveland and Philadelphia, hopefully, yes. So for the 4 teams I've mentioned, hopefully Providence and Cleveland will be here. We haven't seen Philadelphia's manager midlife crisis here very much. So depending upon who makes the chat first is who gets to manage. And Providence already was able to get a gentleman's agreement from Manchester, so we can flip the roles in the head, and Providence can manage as its visiting team. Providence doing its last 3 games on the road against Manchester. Cleveland also on the road against Philadelphia, which is why we're doing this. I'm going to give this another 5 minutes, just kind of talk about things in the channel. If nobody shows up, I'll autoplay, and we'll do like a game that really doesn't matter, like Butler, Liverpool. It's Carolina, Arsenal out of it, so we might just play it just because we haven't seen them in a while. St. Louis and Bellingham could be good. So if Bellingham's manager shows up, we'll do that. It's going to depend on who shows up. I see we have 2 viewers and 1 likes, and that means that none of you are any of the involved managers. So we have that. So I hope this week, after this Ned McGreevy League is over and before we do our little 3-game World Series, I'm going to be able to set up our I'm going to start to set up the Negro League All-Star Game, and then we'll do the Ned McGreevy 3-game World Series, and then we jump into our dead ball tournament that's based on a number of real teams. So we've been using real teams, but fictional names, whatever. But these are going to be real teams. We've selected 10 teams, I think it is, and we'll go back to that really quickly. Just trying to waste time here. We go to our little Ken Castro Corn League, and we have 12 teams in this tournament. This will happen, this will be the next sort of project that will play out, 3, 5, 8, 7, 15. So theoretically 22 games. That's assuming that every playoff goes the full 7. It'll be around 22 games. So this will be way shorter than the McGreevy League. But again, tick-tock, struggling to find things to talk about here. So there's where we are on that. Other news, also picked up the new from Dave Cook Sports is the Negro League's Top 20. I need to download Steve Tate's latest Negro League files. I haven't gotten to download those yet. But apart from this that's coming up after McGreevy, really trying to look at some projects and perhaps go back and just do some short-term stuff until we can come up with something else. I don't know what, but really looking forward to this tournament to start. And of course, a marquee matchup in round 1. This one, really the big one, is the 1911 A's versus the 1912 Red Sox. It's going to be a lot of fun. The other teams in the first round, the 1907 Tigers, 1894 Baltimore Orioles, the 1908 Cleveland Naps against the 1904 New York Giants, and the 1914 Boston Miracle Braves against the 1919 Cincinnati Reds. The 4 teams that get a bye in round 1 are the 1885 Chicago White Stockings, the 1884 Providence Grays, the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates, and the 1907 Chicago Cubs. And we have 6 viewers in there. This is nice to see, but no one chatting. So there we go. Now I see you guys. All right. Well, we're going to see. There's Clee, baseball fan. Big clue. No. Robert is doing 1988. Big clue. This is not the only thing on TV, buddy. So you can go and catch some 1988 replay if you'd like. I had told everybody last week that I'd be on early because I have an early day tomorrow. So, but if none of these home managers show up, then this won't be Ned McGreevy Baseball League Final 3 Part 1 until tomorrow. We'll just do something else. Nothing but complaints. I'm not complaining. As I said, if you're all interested, RGO Network doing some more modern baseball. Simultaneously, I couldn't wait for Robert to get done. The game was in kind of earlier middle innings, so I wouldn't have gotten started till 10. And I was hoping to get a doubleheader in, but I think cousin Ken Castro may have forgotten, and whatever. So, we can just play a game just for giggles as we start another week. Well, MV has agreed to allow Ken Castro to manage as a visiting team. When we get back to Ned McGreevy, let's close this. Just to give him, because MV's got already locked up. It's done. If we get back to this, you'll see that a whole bunch of E's. Everybody eliminated for that because they've clinched. So what we're trying to do now in this race is just to find who is going to face Manchester in our World Series. So Manchester is really done until the World Series. So having Providence manage against Manchester has nothing to lose, even if they get swept 3 games. But it's Cleveland and Philadelphia. Whoever comes in here first, and whoever gets in here first is the one that manages Cleveland and Philadelphia. And we also decided Cleveland and Philadelphia would be the first game of the night, because when we do see Todd, we usually see him earlier, and when we see Midlife Crisis, it's usually earlier. So it's usually the first guy that gets in. You finish first, you're manager of the year. Anyhow, and if nobody comes in, and this happens, over a night or two, then I'll just play the games out, computer versus computer. But I'm sure Ken will be in at some point, or Todd. But definitely want to get this over with now. Now I'm anxious to get it over with, because we have the other project picking up. I was playing some out of the park baseball last night, and after playing this for so long, going back to that, one thing I've got to say for us, I'm doing an all-time greats thing on out of the park, is just how absolutely beautiful that game is. Especially when you're using the parks that come with the game, they're incredible looking. So, and just how fast and fluid that game is. So, there he is. So, big night, cousin, and you could end up being, if Todd doesn't show up, we're going to give Todd or Midlife Crisis a little bit of time to show up. But as it's getting later, that's why I just did this as part 1, because I don't think we're going to get a double header. We're going to give them some time. We can chat some baseball or whatever, and then if it doesn't look like Todd or Midlife Crisis are showing up, we'll have to try them tomorrow night. But at some point, it might just have to be the computer playing out and me with very little input. So, and there's Robbie back. And again, with Midlife Crisis and Todd having the work schedules and I get it, because I have one too, the hard work schedules that they do, It could be that Philadelphia and Cleveland may come down to how the AI manages. So Ken, that sort of puts you in the catbird seat. In the meantime, we can get, we'll give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll just play maybe St. Louis at Bellingham, since Bellingham sort of is still in the race in case D. Scott Howard would show up. And then for our nightcap is probably going to be Providence and Manchester, as opposed to Cleveland, Philadelphia. Nope, you haven't missed anything, Robbie. In fact, some would argue you can watch an entire broadcast of mine and not have missed anything. So, there you go. So this shook out pretty well. I haven't downloaded the zip file yet from Robbie. In fact, I don't know where he put it in the Discord. Robbie, if you could send me the zip file for Diamond Mine Baseball in a personal message to me, I'd appreciate that at your convenience. I want to get to it because there's there's a bazillion disparities between how this played out in Action PC Baseball and how it played out in Diamond Mine. And there's some things how it played out in Diamond Mine that are really, really sort of suspect. And I want to see how Babe Adams, in other words, led the league in ERA with 2.39. That means that Walter Johnson and Rube Waddell and Mathewson, not to take anything away from Babe Adams, but he was better than those guys, and I need to see what's going on in there. So, yeah, thank you, Robbie. I don't go to a lot of those sections. I'm also very happy to say I came through for Aaron. I purchased Action PC Baseball for him. We got on there today, and he can at least now play games, navigate around. So he is like a kid in a candy store, and no surprise that he's not here right now. So he was just absolutely over the moon about that, so I'm happy. And once we're sure he can get around that, then we'll get him baseball for Windows down the line. But he's now the proud owner of Action PC Baseball and having fun. So that's cool. I'm not saying it's to be a real price. It's just that Aaron's a good guy. He's been from the very, very... it's more for Aaron that he is happy. And I promised him if the first he came in the chat, keep coming in. And he said, oh man, I don't have the money for this or whatever. And then finding out he's sightless. I mean, I can't just sit back and, somebody who's so enthusiastic about baseball and who's been so cool and so amazing on this channel, can't let the guy hang out to dry. So it was just joyful to kind of, in fact, what I did was I downloaded TeamViewer. Thank you, Cousin Ken. Thanks, guys. I downloaded TeamViewer and actually just took control of his PC and set up some things for him. Because he said, yeah, I can play games, but there's no sound, there's no organ. And I'm like, what? No ambient crowd, anything like that. I'm like, this is weird. What had happened was, with Action PC Baseball, when you have a computer managing both teams, and you select that in the preferences, it immediately just plays the game. Bam. Because I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And he's explaining. I'm like, dude, let's just get TeamViewer. Got TeamViewer, and it was really cool because I got to get I was able to get a sense of how the software works for the sightless. I don't like the term blind. How it works for the sightless, and Aaron is. So among sightless people in the minority, he's been sightless since birth, so he can't even he can't even tell differences in light or anything. So that presents its own unique opportunities to be overcome. And so it was really neat to watch him navigate around as it was talking to him, and then I would take control and say, okay, if I mouse over this, it's saying. And so I was getting an idea. And the hardest thing that we had to figure out for him was how to switch seasons. Because, there's 3 ways to do it. And Action PC Baseball, and I think we were able to find one, so he was switching around between a number of seasons, which was really nice. But it also just makes me think, just take a couple seconds here to editorialize a little bit, how much we take for granted. How much we take for granted. So any of us can whether we're playing cards and dice, and which begs the question, does APA, do any of these games provide their cards in Braille, right? But so we can fire up any game we want and we can play it. But you have avid gamers like Aaron. And gaming is, let's face it, it's really a visual medium. Um, and so, thank God, Goddess, whatever you pray to, or even if you're an atheist, just thank something that you can see, because you really do take a lot for granted. And watching him navigate, helping him with different baseball things. I got him old time baseball a couple weeks ago, and now with his, of course, his girlfriend helping him, working online, helping him to get games set up for that. I'm super thankful, and I'm thinking about that as a musician. As a musician, I can still do music, but the problem with that is, because if I was just playing piano, that's one thing, but because I play synthesizers, I need to be able to navigate menus, right? And I have different, so 5 hardware synthesizers, and they all have different operating systems and ways, different architectures, the whole thing. One of them has 9 discrete synthesis engines in it, actually 10 discrete synthesis engines, each with, right, so there's no sort of uniformity. And then I also use virtual studio technology, and I have about 380 different sort of instruments on that. And so really thinking about that how much, even as a musician, I depend on my sight. So just having Aaron just being so patch chords on any. So PQ Ribber, if you're one of the people that's would be interested in my new channel, you'll see virtual studio technology, and you'll see a Moog. So yes, one of the instruments I have is a Moog with all the patches, everything like that. Yep, Yamaha backs. I've got a 2600, an Odyssey. So yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff. Matrix 12, and then everything up to the newest stuff today. Korg Kronos. I have a Synclavier 2. I have a Fairlight. All kinds of stuff. So between hardware and virtual studio technology. So yeah, patching, man, that's crazy. But anyhow, that's for the other channel, which Big Clue is going to be he's going to be my first moderator, man. He's agreed to do that, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Anyhow, it's 9:10. I'm going to do a stogie here, and then we're going to play out a game. And I think it's going to be Providence and Manchester. And unfortunately, Cleveland, Philadelphia may be decided by just hands-off play or whatever. I'm not sure. So, yes, it does, Robbie. It's by audio. There's all kinds of really good stuff. Going way back even into the 90s, there was and I knew about this. It was and Aaron had only heard of it. It's a software called Dragon. And what it originally did was it allowed so people to be able, sightless people to be able to sort of hear what was on a screen. So that, and now of course it's developed, so it's able to tell him, like for instance, down here in the lower right-hand corner, it will tell him there are drill downs on this page. So when he does this, and that's what that called in Windows is a drill down, and then he can open that and he can, switch seasons that way. The problem that we're going to run into, however, when you go to, and we'll just bring up Providence roster here for a second, is the software doesn't pick up tabs. And I don't know how yet to figure out, there's not a way to, without dragging players across, so for him to be able to do relief pictures and stuff, that's going to be tricky because it doesn't pick up these tabs anywhere. So that's going to make things a little tricky. It does pick up, these top menus. Unfortunately, because these are graphics, these red ones, right? It doesn't pick these up. So luckily, everything, or mostly everything you can do here, you can do everything up here in the top menu. So that's a blessing. But it was really, it was a great education for me, and I have I mean, I have an advanced degree in education. I had to do some seminars, but we never got to work with any of the software hands-on. And I remember maybe a few weeks ago or something starting to help Aaron with this stuff. I closed my eyes. And try this experiment for yourself. Close your eyes and try to move your mouse around. Like, look at something on the screen and say, okay, I want to be able to, like, if I'm looking here and I see Napoleon Lajoie and I'm going to move my mouse, say, down to the lower left, toward the lower left, and close your eyes and see, right, whatever you're doing. But I'm just saying, if you would have this up and try to land right on Lajoie and have your eyes tightly closed. So, I have no idea what you're talking about there, Big Clue. Having a smoke. Smoke. Well, if you just, yeah, but Ken, would you be uncomfortable if MV was here and you were the home team? I mean, he's agreed to do this. I mean, it's, you know, it's really, really up to you. But just imagine you're the home team. That's the only thing. We're just switching the rules around. MV has already won. MV could lose the all 3 games. You could sweep MV, and he's still home team in the World Series. There's nothing. I mean, the season's over. This was my idea to do a little World Series at the end because of. This has been so much fun. But, I mean, MV won it all. If we were to stop now, I mean, he's already won it. Nothing can change that. The math is there. And so that's really up to you what you want to do. As it turned out, this was a 144-game season, so it was a little shorter. It was 10 games shorter than I thought it would be. Or no, it'd be 144. So, yeah, so it's going to end up to be a 150-game season, I guess it is. Okay, do I need to look at that now or not? Because, yeah, you can, I mean, you can, MV asking if he can check his lineup. Of course you can. I mean, and again, so the only difference in this game, MV, is you're going to be restricted to relief pitchers, defensive substitutions, pinch hitters, pinch runners, right? And Cousin Ken, it's managing like you're the home team, and you'll be able to do all the other stuff. Okay. I'm just doing it for fun. I realize it's a mistake, Big Clue. I'm doing it for fun because these guys played all the way through, and I thought it'd be just fun to have a little 3-game World Series. But that being said, if people aren't feeling it, then the McGreevy League, I mean, it is over. It was over the other night. But I just wanted to do it for fun. But yep, I do get that. I get it. And who knows? Besides, let's, everybody likes a little upset. Alright, so Manchester, we'll look at your, so we do got to get started. There is your roster. And I'm going to switch this to replay stats. And there we go. Oh, I hear you, brother. It's all good. No, I realize it is. I mean, I totally get it. But it'd be really fun with Manchester being so dominant in the past 2 months of the season to see one of these guys maybe knock them off. Why not? All right. So, MV, do you need... right now we're looking at your batters. I don't know if you need to look at your pitchers. If you want to decide who you want to start for you, that's fine. Whatever you want to do, man. You guys have really used both. I mean, there's been a lot of busy pitchers. Oh, sort by RCR? Or by runs created by 27. There you go. Runs created. Now, once we get in the game, you guys can set your lineup. That's not a problem. They have gone to Divisions 1892. They could have had their own championship series. Yeah. would have needed to cut 4 teams to 1,900 and wouldn't have given the American League the opening. You're totally right. Absolutely on target. But the owners were really, alas and alack. Yeah, the owners were just greedy, man. They just couldn't think past the monies. All right, let's get this going. I guess Philadelphia and Cleveland's going to be sided differently. All right, let's play. And Providence, you're going to be the human team, and let's go. Okay, so you're facing Walter Johnson. Your regular lineup first. Okay, let's let Ken do his, and then we'll go to yours. Right now, Ken, you're facing Walter Johnson. So if I load up the fourth lineup versus right, it's always the same suspects. You just have to decide who you want to pitch. So there's your dudes. Chesbro might be okay. So Chesbro is your logical starter. Radbourne's working on short rest, so is Jack Taylor and Buck O'Brien. Chesbro, yep, already ahead of me. All right, Chesbro. And now for MV, we wanted to look at yours. Okay. So your lineup is versus right. Why is my computer doing weird things? There we go. Oh, so yours, you just wanted, right? You wanted computers to do yours. So by using computer lineups, that's what you got. Okay, to save time, Bobby Wallace at short and Pinckney at third. Tinker to the bench. All right. So Bobby Wallace is at third, and you want Tinker out, and Bobby Wallace is going to be your shortstop. All right. All right. So, and then Pinckney's at third. So let's go to batters. George Pinckney. I don't know where you want to bat him, but Tinker's out, so we'll put him here, and then you can. All right. Pinckney's at third. Okay. So now, if you want to go ahead, and I don't know how you want to, your batting order, I'll move guys up and down as you want. So Johnson and Chesbro, nice lineup. Oh, you're most well. Who's your most rested? Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be Walter Johnson and Tim Keefe are your only fully rested pitchers. Johnson and Keefe. Your order is fine. Okay. Then let's go. And thanks for coming in, everybody. You went too late, man. You went too late. Walter Johnson's already in the game, but he's fully rested. Okay, yeah, because if I change it, you waste Keefe. I would have to pull him now. All right, here we go. Welcome to Ebbets Field, where Providence will take on Manchester. Providence battling for the coveted visitor spot in our little 3-game World Series that will take place when all is said and done. Jack Chesbro will start for Providence. 38 starts in a year, and he is 18-16 with an earned run average of 2.38. Pardon me. This is his 5th start against Manchester, and he is 2-1 with a 1.95 earned run average against them going in. He'll be opposed by the big train for Manchester. He's looking for win number 20 of the season. 34 starts in the year, and he is 19-10 with an league-leading earned run average of 1.08. This will be his 5th start against Providence, and he's 2-2 with a 2.31 earned run average against them. Game time, it is 70 degrees. The wind speed is 4 miles per hour in from left, and there is a light rain falling in Flatbush. So Cousin Ken will be managing as if he was the home team, since Manchester's already won the pennant. So a lot of gamblers watching closely, says PK River. Absolutely. And at a half hour in, we are ready to go. Walter Johnson is finishing his warm-up pitches. Billy Hamilton stepping to the plate. 302 average for Billy. 8 runs batted in for him. And I'm just going by the old lag here. Let's have a look at Billy. We wait to see, because I don't know if Cousin Ken is going to open with a hit away or a bunt for hit. All right, here we go. The last 3. Couldn't have scripted this one better. The big train is ready to deal to Billy Hamilton, and Hamilton, grounder deep to second. Childs up and over to Bruthers quickly. Hamilton tearing down the line. 1-1 out. All right, Wee Willie Keeler, 286, a home run, 54 ribbies for Keeler on the season. Keeler just, I think, 1 or 2 stolen bases behind the league leader, and that's Hannes Wagner in steals. Bats lefty. So Walter Johnson, 1 pitch, 1 out. So this game will go a little longer as we wait. Again, Ken, just H for hit away is fine. That way we can keep the game moving as you're thinking. Because I'm not, yep, good. I don't want to assume you're hitting away with anybody. Lots at stake here. The big train with a 1-2 delivery to Keeler. Keeler, ground ball to second. And this one, a throwing error on Cupid Childs. And this one rolls all the way to the wall. Bruthers running to the stands has it, and Keeler is in scoring position. So here is Joe Kelly now. Hey, there's Aaron Reed. Proud owner of Action PC Baseball now. He says, what's the crack? So Aaron, I have to correct your Irish there. It's actually C-R-A-I-C is how you spell crack. So just letting you know there, buddy. But welcome in, buddy. Hit away. Keeler at second. Joe Kelly, 237, a home run, 42 runs batted in. Now the party's complete. Aaron Reed is in the ballpark, Ebbets Field. Johnson with the 1-1 delivery to Kelly. The runner does not go. Joe Kelly skies this to right. Chief Wilson running in quickly and toward the foul line. Makes the catch. 34% chance for Keeler to go to third. Send him or no. So send would be yes, Ken, and not to send would be no. So just, if you got that? Advance yes, or not advance is no. All right, gutsy play with a 34% chance. Wilson, this is going to be between Wilson's strong arm and Keeler's speed. Keeler rounding second. Here's the throw from Wilson to third. Pinckney with the tag, and Keeler is safe after the dust settles. 2 down, and the first run for Providence, potential run just 90 feet away for John McGraw. McGraw, 248 on the season, no home runs, 48 ribbies. And McGraw, also among the league leaders in steals with 56. So he and Keeler are tied. Johnson from the stretch in the 1-1 to John McGraw. McGraw base hit to left. RBI single as Keeler scores 1-0. So Providence once again coming out and playing some risky station-to-station baseball. John McGraw on board, or on first, and here's Hal Chase. And the glove going up. Chase, 263, 7 home runs, 56 ribbies. McGraw, good lead off of first. And Providence calling steal. Johnson checks the runner. Here's the wind, and there goes McGraw. Easterly's throw, and McGraw is caught stealing. Inning over. But 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. We've played a half inning, and it's Providence Liberty 1 and the Manchester Red Bolts coming to bat. Manchester will send up Jesse Burkett to lead it off. Will be followed by Cupid Childs and Dan Bruthers. Jesse Burkett among the league leaders in hitting with hitting .303, has 39 runs batted in. As MV says, way to go, Easterly. Looking at the defense, and we'll look at the defense then for Manchester when we go to the second. In left field, Joe Kelly. In center field, Billy Hamilton. In right field, Wee Willie Keeler. John McGraw at third. Kid Elberfeld at short. Bid McPhee at second. Hal Chase at first. Buck Ewing catching. And Jack Chesbrough pitching. And there is Jesse Burkett. Chesbrough into his motion in the 0-2 delivery. Burkett swings. Routine grounder to short. Elberfeld up with it. And on to Hal Chase. But a throwing error on Elberfeld. And Burkett ends up in scoring position at second. So the tying run for Manchester at second base. E6 on Elberfeld. Brings up Cupid Childs now, the second baseman for the Red Bolts, hitting .254, no home runs, 41 runs batted in. Dan Bruthers waits on deck. Chesbrough checks the runner, Burkett. Burkett, some good speed at first. 43 steals on the season. And I need to make a quick change here. Is my mouse pulling is being a little bit weird. And we'll go to that and see if this is better. Alright, I was doing some pretty process of intensive stuff before coming on here. Chesbrough winds and fires the 0-1 delivery now. And Childs, base hit up the middle. Hamilton has it. This is probably going to be an RBI. Burkett rounding third. Hamilton, the throw to the plate. Not in time. Burkett scores. We are tied in the bottom of the first, 1-1. This is going to be a great, great series between these two teams. I say three because three are fighting for that visitor spot. Nobody out. Runner in scoring position. And here's Dan Bruthers, also among the league leaders in hitting at .311, 7 home runs, 68 runs batted in for Bruthers. Chesbrough with the 2-1. Curveball to Bruthers, chopper to short. Elberfeld is up with the Childs, will move to third. The throw to first, not in time, and it's another error. This one a low throw in the dirt, and Childs will score. Elberfeld has committed 2 errors in this game, and courtesy of that, Manchester leading 2-1 here in the bottom of the first. So I have to assume that the erstwhile Mr. Elberfeld may be in for a dressing down, to say the least. Chief Wilson now batting with no one out, and Bruthers aboard. Bruthers has 30 steals. Chesbrough brings it home. There goes Bruthers, the throw down, and Bruthers is caught stealing. So that was a big, big play. Buck Ewing coming up gunning there. Big play to get Dan Bruthers. So 1 out, base is empty. And here is Chief Wilson now back in the box in the 0-1 delivery. Wilson swings, grounded to short. Elberfeld actually fields it this time, and does just get Chief Wilson. So Elberfeld making an accurate throw. 2 away, 2 in for center fielder Jake Stahl. .247, a home run, 45 runs batted in. Chesbrough winds and fires the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on. Grounded to third. McGraw up with it. Sets and throws quickly onto Chase in time to get Stahl to end the inning. But 2 runs, 1 hit. 2 Kid Elberfeld errors. We've played 1. It's Manchester 2 and Providence 1. Providence will send up Hal Chase, Bid McPhee, and Buck Ewing to face Walter Johnson and the Red Bolts. And let's look at the Red Bolts defense as promised. In left field, there's Jesse Burkett. In center, Chick Stahl. In right, Chief Wilson. At third, George Pinckney. Bobby Wallace at short. Cupid Childs at second. Dan Bruthers at first. Ted Easterly catching. And Walter Johnson, of course, pitching. So Chase in there, 263 hitter, 7 home runs, 56 runs batted in on the year. Johnson winds and fires the 0-1. Chase sends this one to right field. It has some height, but not enough distance. Chief Wilson catching it in front of the Gem Razor sign. 1 up, 1 down for second baseman Ben McPhee, hitting a rather abysmal 188, a home run and 9 runs batted in on the season. Johnson kicks and fires. The 1-2 to McPhee, and McPhee will line this one foul down the left field line, and this one will make the seats. Jesse Burkett giving chase over there. 1-2 now coming in to McPhee. McPhee swings. Grounder up the first base line. Bruthers has it. Underhanded toss to Walter Johnson covering to retire McPhee for the second out. Catcher Buck Ewing has been pretty clutch all season for Providence Liberty Tree, hitting .243, 9 home runs, and 67 runs batted in. 0-2 delivery now to Ewing. And Ewing, this one called strike 3 in the inside corner, side retired. And we go to the bottom of second. 2-1 is your score. Big clue, he says, where credit's due, MV assembled a juggernaut. He did. He's been handing a manager of the year is like giving it to Joe Torre. Nice. Good stuff. All right. Bobby Wallace will lead it off, followed by Easterly and then Pinckney. Wallace hitting .230 with 17 home runs. Chesbro deals the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, fly ball to center field. Hamilton going back and making the catch. So the F8 and 1 down for catcher Ted Easterly, who's hitting .244 with 13 ribbies on the season. Chesbro into his motion, and the count even on Easterly. Change up. This one grounded to third. McGraw, with plenty of time, throws on to Hal Chase to retire Easterly. It's 2 away here in the bottom of the second, and third baseman George Pinckney having a good year for Manchester. .286 average, 45 ribbies, including a round tripper. Chesbro deals 1-1. Pinckney swings, hard ground ball to McGraw. McGraw up with it. This is going to be close at first, and this one is going to get away from Hal Chase. But Chase able to keep the ball in front of him. So error number 22 for McGraw, but Pinckney will hold first. So Providence getting a big breakthrough. That's the third error by Providence in the game. And Walter Johnson hitting 182 home runs, 9 ribbies, steps to the plate. Chesbro winds and deals. Throws over. Pinckney is back. Close call there at first. Chase with a good tag. Pinckney able to get his foot on the bag. Chesbro comes home with it. There goes Pinckney. A hit and run was in order. McGraw has it, and McGraw has booted the ball. Unbelievable 4 Providence errors in this game. Chesbro not getting the support that he needs in the field. So what should have been the third out instead sees Pinckney at second, Johnson at first. And we're back at the top of the Manchester order. Jesse Burkett. Could it be a case of the nerves for the Providence Liberty Tree 9? Who knows? So Burkett was safe on a throwing error back in the first. 4 errors in the game for Providence. 1 committed by Manchester. Chesbro wheels and deals. Full count on Burkett. And Burkett, base hit up the middle. Hamilton has it. Pinckney rounding third. And they're going to... No, Pinckney will score, and Johnson is out at third. But another run in, and it's 3-1 Manchester as we go to the top of the third. And the errors will kill you. far worse, I think, than those base on balls. So we'll take a little bit of an argument there against the old professor. Kid Elberfeld will lead it off. Elberfeld needs to get something done here to try to have these fans forget about those errors. Light rain continues to fall in the Flatbush section of Brooklyn. And by 1900, Brooklyn is already incorporated into the city of New York. Johnson has a strikeout in this game. Elberfeld, chopper to third. Pinckney can't handle the ball. And the fires it to first, and Elberfeld is safe. This one gets past. It gets past. Wow. So 2 errors on George Pinckney, and Kid Elberfeld is on at second. Let's look at this video replay here. So Pinckney muffs it, but then hurries his throw. So he picks up actually 2 errors. So Manchester going from 1 error to 3, and Pinckney has 2 of them in the same play. Let's look at this one again. So Elberfeld chops this one short hop. Pinckney had some trouble with it, and then it gets past Elberfeld, or it gets past Bruthers, and Elberfeld makes it to second. So potential run number 2 in scoring position now. There's been 7 errors in this game, and we're just in the top of the 3rd inning. Yep, World's Worst Gamer, welcome in. Okay, is the sacrifice for Chesbro? Is that right? Cousin Kent, just type a Y if you mean for Chesbro. Yeah, 7 errors in 2 innings. Welcome in, World's Worst Gamer. Okay, sack for Chesbro. Got it. Walter Johnson with the kick and the easy underarm or sidearm delivery. Chesbro gets a good bunt down, but will it roll foul? No. Pinckney goes to third, and they get the lead runner. So the sacrifice does not pay off. Chesbro aboard courtesy of the fielder's choice. And we're back at the top of the order, and sliding Billy Hamilton. Billy grounded to second back in the first. Chesbro with just a stolen base. Hit away, says Cousin Ken Castro. Johnson with the 2-2 pitch. And Hamilton, a wave and a miss, steal like 3, 2 down. So Walter Johnson picking up his 2nd K of the game. And Wee Willie Keeler steps in there now. Safe in a throwing error back in the first. Johnson brings it home. Keeler swings on this one. Fly ball to left. Burkett has it in his glove. Side retired. No runs, no hits. 2 errors. Providence unable to capitalize on that little gift. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's still 3-1 Manchester. Due up. Cupid Childs, Dan Bruthers, and Chief Wilson. Childs 1 for 1 in today's game. Manchester with 2 hits. RBI single back in the first, scoring Jesse Burkett. As the rallying cry from MV goes up again. Total offense, boys. Let's go. Chesbro has neither walked nor struck out a batter. First pitch swinging. Childs sends this one high to right and near the Abe Stark sign, which wouldn't have existed. In fact, this field wouldn't have existed in 1900. 1 away. Dan Bruthers, last time, was safe on a throwing error, scoring Cupid Childs. And who made the throwing error? We know who that is. Chesbro brings it home. The 0-2 delivery. Bruthers base hit up the middle. McPhee trying to make a play on it, but too much on this ball. Hamilton getting back into cutoff man, Kid Elberfeld. Dan Bruthers with 30 steals in the season. Chief Wilson, nothing for 1, grounded to short back in the first. A runner on, 1 down. Chesbro brings it. And Bruthers going for the second, and he is safe. 31st steal of the season for Dan Bruthers. Potential 4th run in scoring position for Manchester here. Chesbro brings it to Wilson. There goes Bruthers to third. The throw down, McGraw's tag, not in time. So Manchester knocking at the door here. The count 2-0 on Chief Wilson. Again, though, we've seen Providence come back from a deficit to win, so we are only in the first third of this game. The 2-0. Wilson swings, high fly ball. This should be deep enough, though. Hamilton has it. Bruthers tags. Hamilton throws it into Elberfeld, and it's 4-1. So the Red Bulls scoring two in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Providence scoring 1 in the first. That is the story thus far, except for the huge amount of errors. 4 errors for Providence, 3 of them committed by Elberfeld, and 3 errors committed by Manchester, and 2 of them in one play committed by George Pinkney. I don't think I've ever seen that. That was interesting. Chickstall bats with the bases empty, 2 down and a run in. Here is the delivery from Chesbro, the 1-1. Little spitball action. And this one grounded to first. Hal Chase will take it unassisted. Side retired. But another run, scores in 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left. We go to the top of the 4th inning. And it's Manchester 4, Providence 1. Due up for Providence, Joe Kelly, John McGraw, and Hal Chase. Joe Kelly, 0-for-1 in the game. Kelly, fly to shallow right. Glove going up by Ken Castro. Ken Castro calling for the bunt for hit. Walter Johnson with 2 strikeouts. Working on a 1-hitter. Here's a delivery to Kelly. Kelly gets the bunt down. Johnson pouncing on this ball. Throws to Childs. The throw gets away from Cupid Childs. And Kelly's aboard thanks to the error. So that is the 4th error by Walter Johnson this year, which is pretty damned respectable. But we have 8 errors in this game now. And stolen base. You got it. So Joe Kelly on the year has stolen 31. John McGraw, 1-for-1 in the game. RBI single in the first, scoring Wee Willie Keeler. And no, we have the glove going up again. So maybe we're not stealing a base. Good thing I read that. Waiting as the glove is there. A run and hit. Okay. And yeah, that was a bit well. Welcome in, Walter Mahoney. I don't know if you pronounce it Mahone. So for me, being where I'm from, even though the accent, I suppress it here, we Mahoney. Either way, welcome aboard. Welcome into the channel. All right, so Providence calling for the run and hit. Kelly with a good lead off first. Johnson with a check of the runner has the sign from Easterly. Here's the wind. And McGraw on the first pitch, and Kelly was already at second base, and this one fouled off to the right. Kelly back to the bag, the 0-1 delivery. We'll see if Providence wants to keep the run and hit on, I should say, on an 0-1 count. I would think yes. And Walter's taking his message away. It was a good one. Oh, we're going to a hit and run now. All right, so a little bit more conservatively. Kelly with 51 steals on the season. Johnson brings it home now. The 0-1. There goes Kelly. McGraw swings. And the only play will be Childs to Bruthers at first. And that one a close play at first. Kelly will make second base. So runner in scoring position for Providence. And he says that was a bad call. All right. And here's Hal Chase. Hal Chase is 1-for-1. Chase fly deep down the right field line back in the second. Just really quick for you guys. Richard Dombrov is going to be sending me in a couple days a little update to test. And I'll be testing on this channel because there's been some interest in Dombrov baseball. And Ken Singh hit away. So we'll be showing that very, very good baseball game that's still undergoing some changes. Hope you guys will join me for that. We'll do it as a little in-between game thing, just a quick run-through again of Dombrov baseball. Looking forward to seeing what Richard has. I like the updates he's done so far this year. So if you haven't picked it up yet, the games, you can try it for free. It's inexpensive, and it's got almost as much flexibility as Action PC Baseball. There's only a couple differences in the two that are pretty minor in terms of that. But we'll talk about those. Back to game action. Kelly at second. Chase swings, fouled on the third base side. Pinckney giving chase, but he's not going to get to that one. 1-2 the count. Johnson peers in, has the sign from Easterly. Here is the 1-2 pitch. And Chase sends this one routine to right field. Wilson over toward the foul line will make the catch. Kelly tags at second. 60% chance he's safe, Cousin Ken. Send him, yes or no? Yes. Wilson up with the ball. He's going to miss the cutoff man. Go to third. Pinckney's tag, and Kelly just in under the tag. What a strong throw. Chief Wilson with an excellent arm out there, rated an 8. So 2 away, and potential run number 2 knocking at the door for Providence Liberty Tree as Bid McPhee steps in. McPhee is grounded to first, back in the second. Hit away. Johnson brings it. The 1-0 delivery from the big train. McPhee swings. Comebacker to the mound. Johnson has it. Over to Bruthers. Side retired. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Providence 4 Manchester 4, Providence 1. Due up Bobby Wallace, Ted Easterly, and George Pinckney. Wallace 0 for 1 in the contest, has fly to deep center, back in the second. Jack Chesbro has neither walked nor struck out a batter. Wallace swings. Chopped to short, and it's another adventure for Elberfeld. And this throw right on target to Hal Chase. 6-3 and 1 down. No, you haven't, but welcome in. D. Scott Howard wanting to know, he's mentioned that the Western Washington women's basketball team came roaring back from down 17 in the second quarter to win the GNAC tournament. 10th game of the weekend he's done. All right, congratulations to the WW women's basketball team, and welcome in D. Scott Howard. All right, back to action now from the hardwood to the diamond. Ted Easterly has grounded to third. 1 away here. Chesbro with a 1-2, and Easterly clean base hit into right field. Keeler up with the ball. Easterly making a wide turn at first, but he will hold. George Pinckney is 0 for 1. Bats from the left. He was safe on a throwing error back in the second. 8 errors for these teams through 3.5. For 3.5. Chesbro comes home with it now. There goes Easterly. The throw down, the tag, and he's dead to rights. So Buck Ewing coming through there again to get Easterly. So caught stealing, 2 down, bases empty. Pinckney back in the box. Here is the 1-0 pitch from Jack Chesbro. And Pinckney lays off and draws the walk. This one a bit high and outside. And Walter Johnson up there now with a runner on and 2 down. Johnson also was safe on an error. Chesbro throws over. Pinckney back in time. George Pinckney has stolen 28 in the season. Ewing setting the target. Jack Chesbro with the 1-0 delivery to Johnson. Johnson swings on this one. Chopped to short. Elberfeld is going to go to first for this one. And Hal Chase has it to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a runner left. We've played 4. It's Manchester 4, Providence 1. Providence will send up Buck Ewing, Kid Elberfeld, and Jack Chesbro here in the top of the 5th inning. 10 viewers, 3 likes. Thank you guys very, very much. Appreciated. Ewing has struck out back in the second. Walter Johnson has only fanned 2 batters through 4 innings of work. The big train delivers. Ewing swinging on the first pitch, and a high fly ball to center, and Chick Stahl will squeeze it for the out. One away, Kid Elberfeld, safe on an error back in the third. The big trains, 2-0 delivery, Elberfeld, grounded to short. Bobby Wallace up with it in one smooth motion onto Dan Bruthers, and that will retire Elberfeld for out number 2. Bobby Wallace, again, let's hide our box score. Bobby Wallace, there's a nice little mini doc on YouTube. People for years had argued that Bobby Wallace does not belong in the Hall of Fame. I always felt that he did. And I think after you watch this documentary, if you have been on the fence or you don't think Bobby Wallace should be in there, after watching that, you will see that he definitely deserves to be in Cooperstown. 2 away for Jack Chesbro. Hey, there's JT Dutch coming in to hang out with us for a little bit at the ballpark. Good to see you, my friend. JT Dutch, I get everybody on this channel just baseball scholars, and JT Dutch, one of them. Learned so much from JT as well. I'm still learning this game, but one thing I've learned after meeting up with you guys and doing this stuff since I've been a content creator on here is I was never sort of like bragging about it, but I thought I knew a lot about baseball and early baseball. But after meeting you guys, I realized that how much I didn't and do not know. And so I appreciate you guys so very much. As an educator, I appreciate the education. All right, Johnson deals to his mound opponent. Chesbro swinging on the 0-1 pitch. Pinckney up with it. And plenty of time on to Dan Bruthers to retire the side. So Johnson still has the one-hitter going. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Manchester will send up Jesse Burkett, Cupid Childs, and Dan Bruthers, the top of the order. Left fielder Jesse Burkett was safe in a throwing error in the first, and an RBI single scoring George Pinckney in the second. PQ Ribber is right. There is so much to learn about this game. So much. Chesbro works now. Count even on Burkett. Curveball. And this one slapped to short. Elberfeld up with it. We got to watch these Elberfeld plays closely. Burkett is out number 1 on the 6-3. Always an adventure out there, at least today with the kid. Each team has stranded 2, by the way. Cupid Childs is 1 for 2. JT Dutch says that he does think that Bobby Wallace is a Hall of Famer. Didn't get his just due, he thinks, because he was a St. Louis Brown, a lot like Vern Stevens, who also didn't get his. And I remember, JT, that we had this discussion, I think back in 2021, about Vern Stevens. Yeah, the Browns never do get respect, do they? Well, George Sisler gets respect. Early Orioles either. That said, I mean, as far as George Sisler, pretty hard to ignore George Sisler. Although, again, how many modern baseball fans know George Sisler? Outside of this little room here. Every member of Sabre, probably, but I don't know. But still hard to ignore him, certainly. The 0-2 to Childs. Chopper to second. McPhee has it on to Hal Chase, and Childs is retired to out number 2. There's a Facebook group devoted to the St. Louis Browns. There's a really good documentary that you guys should check out on the St. Louis Browns if you haven't. Good stuff. And yeah, few know Sisler, and PQ Rivers says his granddad spoke highly. George Sisler's one of my favorite players, but again, I'll say it, every time I've had to play in leagues against George Sisler, he wrecks me all the time. George Sisler. I always hate to see him on a roster opposing me. George Sisler is so dangerous. George Sisler, I believe, playing on our Bellingham team. We will not see George Sisler in our Dead Ball tournament coming up when this is all over. Dead Ball 19th Century tournament. 2 down, bases empty. Dan Bruthers is 1 for 2. He was safe on a throwing error in the first. Cupid Child scored on that, and then a single back in the third. Chesbro brings it home. The 0-1, Bruther swings, and this one is going to go to the corners for extra bases in left field. Kelly giving chase. Here's the throw to second. It's not going to be anywhere near in time. So it hits Elberfeld. Playing cutoff there. So potential fifth run in scoring position. 2 out here in the bottom of the fifth. 4-1 Manchester lead, and that brings up Chief Wilson. Hey, there's RGL Network. Robert, we love you, but that one only counts as half. Because McCartney and Jackson did not end on the best of terms. We know the story of that. So I got to give you a half point on that one, my friend. But it's good to see you. Let us know in the chat. I saw that you were broadcasting, but I have an early work day tomorrow, so I like to watch yours and then start mine. So who played tonight? And let us know who you have coming up next, please, on your channel. And then I'll give you that other half point. Deal, Robert? This way you get to pimp. You get to pimp your channel. That's right. Only half credit because you mentioned Michael Jackson. That one doesn't count for a full point. In fact, McCartney does a really funny Michael Jackson impression. But anyhow, back to the game. All right, 2 away, runner in scoring position. The 0-1 to Chief Wilson. Cut on, chopped up to first base, and Hal Chase will take it to the bag himself. So side retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We've played 5 here at Ebbets Field. Manchester 4 and Providence 1. So we're waiting for Robert. He can get that point, that half point back. Let us know who you have coming up in your channel. Robert's doing a replay of 1988 Cars and Dice inside pitch baseball. Hit away. Billy Hamilton is nothing for 2. He is grounded to second and struck out. Johnson with 2 strikeouts and a 1-hitter. Hamilton swings, slapped down the first base line. Bruthers will take it to the bag. 3 unassisted, 1 up, 1 down for Wee Willie Keeler. Keeler nothing for 2. Safe on a throwing error in the first, and flight out in the third. JT Dutch, the Dodgers doing so poorly in that replay, it's mind-boggling. JT Dutch talking about, yeah, he says that's for Sisler. When you hit 420 in the season, it tends to garner some attention. Understatement of the night, right? Hit away. No, Robbie, and I've taught at the university level, I do not believe in the pass-fail system. I do not. No. In fact, I don't believe in the plus-minus system either with letter grades. So, I think it should just be A's, B's, C's, D's, and F's. Pass-fail. Pass-fail. That's for wankers. All right, 1 away. Here's a delivery to Keeler. Keeler swings. This one, oh, what a great play by Cupid Childs. Diving stop. Gets up and gets it over to Bruthers. Cupid Childs getting the big star out there. 2 down. And with Keeler's speed and Childs able to not rush his throw to get the speedy Wheelie, Keeler makes this an even greater play. Oh, cool. So Robert says that he met Chester today at a spring training game in South Florida. Awesome. Chester, cool dude, man. Cool dude. Joe Kelly is nothing for 2. He is flied out and bunted out, but was safe on a throwing error. Johnson with the 2-2 pitch to Kelly. This one popped high in the infield. Pinckney and Wallace converging, but Bobby Wallace waving him off and squeezes it for out number 3. 5.5 gone. It's Manchester 4, Providence 1. So, should Providence not come back as it has been, not sure whose Providence is going to be rooting for in the Philadelphia-Cleveland game. All right. So, okay, damn it, Robert, yes, you got your other point. Robert's saying, so since I met another one of our great hobbyists, give me my other half point. All right, you got it. All right, so Robert gets his full point back. He gets his full point now. In fact, I'll tell you what, Robert, because you were creative and bringing in the fact that you met Chester, I'm going to give you, you're going to get just 2 points for tonight. 2 points for tonight. Hey, we went from 7 likes to 6. Awesome. Thank you to whoever did that. Because believe it or not, you Egypt, it helps the channel. It still helps the channel, so thank you. All right, anyhow, but you're still a jerk. How's that? Chesbro delivers to Stahl. Here's the 2-2. Oh, this one on the inside corner. Chesbro picks up strikeout number 1. PQ Rivers says he may return. A few tasks loom. Have a great night, gentlemen. You as well. Not a lot of gentlemen in here, but thank you for that, my friend. All right. And Bobby Wallace, nothing for 2, will lead it off here for Manchester. Or no, he won't lead it off. He's batting second. See, I was so emotionally involved with that person and the unlike. That was funny. Chesbro with a 2-2. Wallace swings and slaps this one to second. McPhee has it, and McPhee with a throwing error. Oh my, that's error number 5 for Providence. The 7th for McPhee on the season, so you can't really knock McPhee too much. 7 errors in an error-prone 19th century and dead ball era. But again, though, that hurts. Bobby Wallace is aboard. And Wallace, not the fastest runner, though, in this league. 16 in the baseball history collection, but in our league has stolen only 6. And back into it. Ted Easterly, the catcher, is 1 for 2. He's grounded to third and lined a single over second back in the 4th. Wallace holds station, the 0-2 delivery. Easterly lunged at and missed, and Jack Chesbro picks up strikeout number 2. 2 away here. Wallace at first for George Pinckney, who was nothing for 1. Walked back in the 4th. The 0-1. Pinckney swings, fly ball center field. Backpedaling on it is Billy Hamilton, and he makes the catch to retire the side. We go to the 7th. And this is when we've usually seen the Thunder and Lightning from Providence, the final 3 innings of the game. It is 4-1. Let's review our scoring really quickly. So Providence was an RBI single back in the 1st, scoring Wee Willie Keeler. For Manchester, Cupid Childs with an RBI single, scoring Jesse Burkett. And then Bruthers grounding to short. Cupid Childs able to score on a throwing error, making it 2-1. In the 2nd inning, Jesse Burkett with an RBI single, scoring George Pinckney. In the 3rd, Chief Wilson sacrificed, scoring Dan Bruthers. So that brings you up to date. 4-1 here. Manchester getting its runs in the first 3 innings, and Providence in the 1st. John McGraw leads it off here, followed by Hal Chase and Bid McPhee in the top of the 7th. And eerie silence. Eerie silence from the Providence bench. We'll wait on Cousin Ken. Yeah, I wish there were fans in the stands. Somebody told me this is one of the Gary Grigsby images. And I don't want to do any injustice violence to it, so I could bring it into Photoshop and do that, but it is a nice image of Adams. I am going to bring it into Photoshop and sharpen it up, though, I think. Hit. All right. Walter Johnson issues the walk to John McGraw. Could this be the beginning? John McGraw with 56 steals on the season. Prince Hal Chase in the box now, and he's flied out twice. Cousin Ken Castro with the wheels turning, calling for the stolen base. Johnson checks the runner. Manchester battery sets. Johnson brings it home. There goes McGraw. Easterly's throw down. And John McGraw picks up steal number 57. Tied now for the league lead in steals with Hannes Wagner. So, should McGraw score, this 4-1 lead cut in half at least. Hal Chase back in the box. The count 0-1, 0-1 against him. And Cousin Ken calling for the hit and run. Johnson winds and fires. There goes McGraw. This one chopped to second. Great play by Cupid Childs to save an extra base hit or save a run. So Chase is out, but McGraw will make it to third. One down. Cupid Childs making two great plays today. That most assuredly would have been an RBI and nobody out, but instead, a runner at third and one down. Bid McPhee, nothing for two. He is grounded out twice. So the hit and run, 50% successful. Two great plays by Cupid, absolutely, MV. So the manager of Manchester cheering his 9 on. Cousin Ken saying hit away with McPhee. Walter Johnson, the 2-1 from the stretch, and he plunks Bid McPhee. And that's got to hurt. Got him on the ribs. McPhee kind of doing a little bit of stretching. Time called here by Providence, making sure that Bid is all right. But halfway out, Bid McPhee gestures to the trainer that he should get back to the bench. Runners at the corners. And Cousin Ken calling for a hit and run. Runners at the corners. McGraw at third. McPhee at first for Buck Ewing. Buck Ewing, nothing for two in the contest. He struck out and flied to deep right center. Johnson from the stretch in the 2-0. There goes McPhee, and this one fouled on the third base side, getting out of play. The count 2-1. Assuming we're going to stay with a hit and run. But we will wait. Yep, hit and run. Johnson again from the stretch in the 2-1 to Buck Ewing. There goes McPhee. The throw down. It hits Johnson. And somehow it doesn't get out to center field. So two in scoring position. And the count even on Buck Ewing. That was a weird play. And we'll see what Cousin wants to do with a 2-2 count on Ewing. Runners at second and third. McPhee at second. McGraw at third. Hit away. One away. Johnson from the stretch in the 2-2. Ewing, fly ball to left. Burkett back. Makes the catch. And McGraw will tag. And he will score. So two down, but Providence cutting that lead in half. It's now 4-2 in favor of Manchester. McPhee in scoring position at second, and Kid Elberfeld, who's nothing for two. Safe on an error back in the third and grounded to short. And responsible for 3 of the 5 Providence errors. Elberfeld having a bad day. Johnson's 0-2 delivery, and Elberfeld lofted to left, little fly ball, and Jesse Burkett has it. Middle of the 7th, it's 4-2, Manchester over Providence. All right, Walter Johnson will lead it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We shall see whether Providence will be starting that. It looks like they've started that Thunder and Lightning in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Will it continue? We shall see. Manchester already winning the pennant. So Providence, one of the teams jockeying for the visitor slot in our 3-game World Series that will happen once the schedule is over. We're down to the final 3 games of a project that started late October of last year. And my thanks to everybody in the community, and on behalf of Cousin Ken Castro, who's really supported us all the way through. Didn't expect. There were times at night we had 20 in here. We have 12 tonight. And for 19th Century and Dead Ball, that's pretty damn fine. Thank you all very much. So, but jockeying for that visitor's position. And we have another big game after this that unfortunately we may have to autoplay. I'm not sure. Chesbro deals to Johnson, the 0-1. Johnson, chopper to first. Chase up with it. Chase will take it to the bag unassisted. One away. JT Dutch saying it's more the company than the game or the era for me. That makes me really happy, because we've kind of established a nice little sort of thing here, and I appreciate it. Jesse Burkett now back to the top of the order. Burkett has himself an RBI back in the second. Chesbro deals, and Burkett fouls this one back. And that one off the mask of Buck Ewing, it seems. He's all right, though. Chesbro brings the 0-1. Burkett, grounder to first. Chase had him played perfectly. Really had to just take one step onto the bag. 2 out here for Cupid Childs. Cupid Childs, 1 for 3 at the plate, but really, the superb, 2 great plays at second today for Manchester. And one of them saving a big run. But it's an RBI single also for Cupid Childs, so if Manchester wins it, in line for the MVP. Chesbro's line, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and he's given up 5 hits. The 0-2 to Childs, and he plunks Cupid Childs. It's not what you want to see. Childs aboard. 35 steals. Dan Bruther's having a great day today. He's 2 for 3, including 2 stolen bases. Doubled last time, singled in the second. Safe on a throwing error that scored Cupid Childs back in the first. So Bruther's possible co-MVP if Manchester wins this game. Childs good lead off first. Chesbro into his motion, and the 1-1 delivery coming into Dan Bruther's. And there's a hit and run play, and it's a base hit to center. Hamilton up with it. Childs is rounding second. Bruther's bluffs. Here's the throw from Hamilton, and not even close. Runners at the corners, 2 down, and here's Chief Wilson. Pitch aggressively. Gotcha. Wilson sacrificed an RBI back in the third for him. He is 0 for 3. Here's the wind and the 0-1. Wilson swings. This one grounded to Elberfeld. Elberfeld throws to first, and they do just nip Chief Wilson. Side retired. 7 in the books here at Ebbets Field. It's Manchester 4, Providence 2. Huge game for Providence, and the one coming up looms large. We'll play it out even if the managers aren't here. A pinch hitter for Jack Chesbro. Chesbro's day is done. And we'll wait for Cousin Ken to select his pinch hitter. Benny Koff. So pinch hitting, great Federal League star Benny Koff. In the season, hitting .210 with 56 runs batted in, 36 steals. Now, again, we want to try to talk about these players a little bit. Benny Koff was really, he's quite a good player. In the baseball history collection, a .301 average for him. 28 doubles, 10 triples, 6 home runs, 77 runs batted in, 44 stolen bases, 89 runs scored. And there we can see another picture of Benny, and there he is, Benny Koff. Or Kauf, I'm not sure. Walter Johnson deals to Kauf. Here's the 0-2. This one in the inside corner. Walter Johnson fans his third, and we go back to the top of the Providence order. And center fielder Billy Hamilton. Hamilton, nothing for 3. And his last time up, grounded to first. Cousin Ken going up, calling for the bunt for hits. Johnson into the wind in the 0-1. Hamilton gets the bunt down. Bruther's coming in, pouncing on the ball, has it, and he's going to throw to first for the out. So 2 away. Providence trying to get something going here with in the late innings. Keeler, nothing for 3. Here is the delivery by Johnson. Keeler swings, fly ball to center, and Stahl has it for out number 3. Bottom of the 8th, and we need a pitcher for Providence. As far as pitchers not on short rest, George Mullen, Charlie Buffington, George Bradley, and Charlie Sweeney. All right-handers, but then again, we don't believe in platooning here, or at least I don't. Wheels turning on the Providence bench. Stahl, Wallace, and Easterly due up for Manchester here in the bottom of the 8th. Jack Taylor coming in on short rest. So Jack Taylor on the year, 2.59 earned run average. He's 11 wins, 11 losses, 177 innings pitched. He's walked 40, struck out 52, a whip of 1.215, and opponents hitting 257 against Jack Taylor. Taylor's been doing a really, really good job for Providence. So that 11-11 is pretty damn respectable. Jake Stahl, nothing for 3. He's grounded out twice and struck out. Bottom of the 8th action here. Taylor with the 0-2 delivery to Stahl. Fastball, slapped to third. McGraw was playing in. And the throw across the diamond to Hal Chase. And Mr. Stahl will grab some pine. 1 up, 1 down for Hall of Fame shortstop Bobby Wallace. It's grounded out twice and fly to deep center. Was safe in a throwing error back in the 6th. Taylor brings it, and Bobby Wallace base hit into left field. Joe Kelly up with it. Wallace rounding first. He will hold. Teddy Easterly, the catcher, steps to the plate. He is 1 for 3. Struck out back in the 6th, his last time up. Wallace decent lead off first. Taylor brings it, the 0-1. Easterly swings. This one lined right to Bid McPhee. So that was the second big out recorded. When we go to the 9th, we will see Joe Kelly, John McGraw, and Hal Chase due up for Providence, trying to tie this one down 4-2. George Pinckney, the third baseman for Manchester, is 0 for 2, including a walk. He flied to deep center back in the 6th. Jack Taylor checks Wallace at first. Throws over. Wallace back ahead of the Chase tag. Taylor now brings it home. Pinckney, first pitch swinging. Jack Taylor coming off the mound to his right, and the throw into Hal Chase. Side retired. Big play by Jack Taylor. We go to the 9th. And the number 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for the Providence Liberty Tree 9. Joe Kelly, John McGraw, and Hal Chase. Walter Johnson looking for a complete game win. He's throwing a 1-hitter right now. 5 errors for Providence, 4 for Manchester. Manchester has stranded 7 runners. Providence has stranded 3. I'm guessing no pinch hitter for Joe Kelly, but we'll wait in case. 9th inning, so Ken, with each batter, just give me, whatever, if it's an H for a hit. Give you time to think. All right, good. Johnson with the 1-2 to Joe Kelly. And Kelly sends this one twisting foul on the first base side. And this one will make the seats. The count 1-2 now for Joe Kelly. The big train, only 3 strikeouts in this game. 1-2, and routine fly ball to center field. Stahl going back a bit and makes the catch. 1 out for Little Napoleon. Has the lone, or no, he had the first. I'm sorry, the first Providence RBI back in the first, scoring Keeler. Hit away. The big train comes home with it. The 1-0 fastball. McGraw swings, slap to second. Oh, what a play by George Pinckney. Diving stop from his knees, throws on to Bruthers to retire John McGraw. So Providence today, flashing leather. 2 great plays by Cupid Childs, one by George Pinckney, and it's down to Hal Chase, who is 0 for 3. He is flied out twice and grounded to second. JT Dutch says 1 hit. We got 1 damned hit. You can't say damned on the air. Don't worry, there's no listening anyway. Channeling a little bit of Major League. Love that movie. Love it, love it, love it. All right, hit away. Walter Johnson fires it in. Base hit up the middle. Hal Chase aboard. And the tying run comes to the plate in Bid McPhee, who is 0 for 2. And hitting just 182. I'm guessing that glove's going to come up. And we'll see a pinch hitter. I'm guessing. Yeah, there's the glove. And there's the pinch hitter. All right. Jake Stenzel. Jake Stenzel will come in to pinch hit. There's a rather blurry picture of Jake. On the season, Stenzel hitting .338. He's been used strictly as a pinch hitter. He has a dinger on the year and 10 runs batted in. As MV says, surely Ken Castro is not going to pull off his magic. Cousin Ken calling for the hit and run. Hal Chase at first. Has some speed. He's stolen 20. A hit and run with 2 outs. He's done it, JT, and has won games. It's spooky. All right, a hit and run with 2 outs. Walter Johnson into his motion. The 2-1 delivery to Jake Stenzel. There goes Chase. The throw down. And Hal Chase steals number 21. Providence in it, but 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2-run deficit. Stenzel back in the box. Count even. Ken right now doing as Susan Sarandon did. I believe in the Church of Baseball. So the entire team was built on speed, JT. He says he tries to replicate the era. And these last 6 games that Ken's won 5 of his last 6. Hit away. If it wasn't a 2-2 count, I would go to pitch mode. But count even on Stenzel. Here's the wind by Johnson and the 2-2 pitch. And Jake Stenzel lays off and draws the walk. Buck Ewing now at the dish. 2 on, 2 out. Hal Chase at second. And Jake Stenzel at first. Ewing nothing for 3 on the day. And Ken is going to stay with Buck Ewing. Hit away. As MV says, here it comes. Walter Johnson issuing his second free pass. And let's do this. Pitch mode. So we're going to go pitch by pitch on this at bat. Walter Johnson peering in, has the sign. Breezes have calmed down now. Light rain, though, very, very light rain continuing to fall here in the Flatbush section of Brooklyn. Say that 3 times fast. Harper says, "Come on, Dorn, don't give me any of that Olay bullshit." All right, Walter Johnson winds and fires, and Ewing swinging on the first pitch, and this ball game is over. Come back to the mound, and Johnson fires it on to Dan Bruthers for the 1-3 putout. Manchester takes this one from Providence, 4-2. Wasn't a lot that Cousin Ken could manage. Those errors were deadly, and you will see why in a moment. So Providence goes to 76 and 72. Manchester just continues its craziness. But again, they have it locked up. So Chesbrough falls to 18 and 17. Walter Johnson does get win number 20, so he's 20 and 10. Dan Bruthers went 3 for 4 with a double and 2 stolen bases. So let's talk about this pitching for a minute and why the errors hurt so badly. Jack Chesbrough worked 7, and here it is, 4 runs. Only 1 run was earned. Only 1. Walked 1, struck out 2. Walter Johnson, on the other hand, the 2 runs he gave up, 1 was earned. So hadn't it been for the errors, and how do you manage against errors? This was tough. So MV says Mr. Bruthers is a new baseball hero of his, and the 19th century as well. Wow, that was tough. Again, what can you do? So Providence did pick up 2 or 3 stolen bases. John McGraw, Bid McPhee, and Hal Chase have each pilfered. Dan Bruthers with 2 stolen bases for Manchester. McGraw was caught stealing, as was Dan Bruthers, and Ted Easterly was also caught. But we're not going to prolong this one. MVP was Walter Johnson. Providence left 5, and Manchester stranded 8 or 7. It's the errors, though, that hurt Providence tonight. So this is going to update to half games, and then we will see what we will see. So right now, Providence is a game and a half behind Cleveland. So they're not out of it yet. Bellingham, 2 games back. Philadelphia, a game back. And the next game is Cleveland at Philadelphia. And neither of these managers are here. It's up to you guys. I can autoplay it, or we can play it out as a game. How hardcore are you? I'm good for another 2 hours. And not that the game's going to take 2 hours, but do you guys want to see it played out or just autoplay it? It's up to you. .08 earned average for the season, but has lost 10 games. Yep. Play it out, Bunky. All right. Cousin Ken Castro giving me some... this is the second time you called me Bunky in 2 days. or this week. So I'll play it out, Bunky. All right, Cleveland to Philadelphia. This is a huge game. And the thing is, for Providence, is you almost have, there's really nobody you can root for in this game. So, ouch. It's going to be a good one. I guess you want Philadelphia to, well, doesn't matter. Philadelphia loses. You guys stay, but Cleveland widens that lead. So, I don't know. Here we go. Cleveland at Philadelphia. But first, we're going to go ahead and autoplay the other games. So, very quickly, St. Louis at Bellingham. Bellingham, 3 games above 500, 75-72. St. Louis, the first team eliminated, 62 and 85. Here we go. Win for Bellingham, 7-6 over St. Louis. Eddie Plank gets the win. He goes to 24-9. Kid Nichols takes the loss. He goes to 11-19. George Sisler, my hero for Bellingham, goes 4 for 5 with a double, and he stole 3. Carolina and Arsenal, a game that really no meaning, but just for completion's sake, Arsenal 4-0. Rube Waddell gets the win. He goes to 18-14. Vic Willis with the loss, 11-19. And I just want to make sure, because you never know, Okay, it wasn't a no-hitter. Just wanted to make sure. All right, and then another meaningless game, Butler-Liverpool. They were on the hunt for a while, but Butler defeats Liverpool 4-1. So Butler is still sort of way outside horse in this race. Pud Galvin gets the win, improves to 24-17. Mickey Welch goes to 19-15. And in our final game of the day, Cleveland-Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the home team. Let's do this. And 3:30 a.m. MV says in the UK, but he's going to hang out for a bit. All right. Well, glad you are, but don't sacrifice your sleep. All right, let's do this. MV creates a juggernaut and doing it from Wales. Taking the league to school. All right. So for Philadelphia, so Cleveland will be starting Jim Bagby. And let's see what this is going to be, a right-handed lineup. And we've got to go and see who is what. So the only person on short rest is Jeff Tesreau. And it looks like Mathewson is going to be the starter. Yep. Let me make sure, though, because I don't know what his rotation is. Nope, Eddie Cicotte is going to be the starter tonight. Where are you, Eddie? Knuckles, get in there. Here we go. Chief Myers, by the way, is on a 13-game hitting streak for the Philadelphia Quakers. All right, welcome into the second half of our twin bill. This game is huge. This game is absolutely huge. Manchester, for these last 3 games of the season, can just kind of sit back and smile. Manchester just winning a game that really meant nothing for them, as they have it locked up, winning 4-2 against Providence. And again, reiterating for those who might be catching this later. But now, welcome to Shibe Park, where the Cleveland Spiders will take on the Philadelphia Quakers. Jim Bagby gets the nod for Cleveland, and he's made 5 starts in the year, and he's 6-5. His earned run average is 1.97. This will be his first start against Philadelphia, and he will be opposed by Eddie Cicotte for the Quakers. Cicotte has made 23 starts in the year, and he is 10-12. With an ERA of 2.21. This will be his 4th start against the Spiders, and he's 1-2 against them with a 3.16 earned run average. As we said, Philadelphia catcher Chief Myers is on a 13-game hitting streak. Game time temperature here on the 20th of September, 1900. 76 degrees, wind speed 5 miles per hour left to right. And let's do this. Let's look first at the starting defense for the Philadelphia Quakers. In left field, it's George Van Haltren. In center, Roy Thomas. And right, Mike Tiernan. And then we'll go first to third. Henry Larkin at first. Eddie Collins at second. George Davis at short. Bill Joyce at third. Chief Myers catching. And Eddie Knuckles Cicotte on the mound. Right fielder Sam Thompson to lead it off here. Sam Thompson hitting .264, 3 home runs, 42 ribbies for Sam. Cicotte known for that knuckleball. Cicotte could have definitely been a Hall of Famer had not for his misstep in the 1919 series. Sam Thompson will open it with an extra base hit to right. Mike Tiernan giving chase in right field. Thompson is rounding second. He's going to go for third. The throw comes a cutoff man Collins, who fires it onto third. Bill Joyce's tag, not in time. Sam Thompson for Cleveland leads it off with a triple. That's his 9th three-bagger of the season. And home run Baker now up there. Frank Baker hitting .274, 2 home runs, 46 runs batted in for him. Bats lefty. Seacott from the stretch and the 1-2. And Baker swings, base hit to left, RBI for Frank Baker. Sam Thompson scoring. And the Spiders notch one here in the top of the first. Ken Castros is another downer on the day. A massive 19th century tournament he has going. His Providence Grays are on the verge of being knocked out in the first round by the 1886 Browns. Oof. MV engaging Cousin Ken about the 86 Browns, saying that he's reading about them. Napoleon Lajoie. You've been following this league since October. You know what Lajoie's been doing. So, tearing it up. The delivery with Baker on first to Lajoie from Seacott. Knuckleball. And Lajoie gets the bunt down and going to second. And what do we have? Lajoie beats the throw. So Myers fielding the bunt and fires to second to get the lead runner. So good heads-up play. Sacrifice does not work. Lajoie aboard with the fielder's choice. One down for first baseman Fred Tenney. Fred Tenney hitting .291, 33 ribbies. 1 run in for Cleveland here in the top of the first. Seacott checks Lajoie at first. There goes Lajoie. Myers up and gunning. The throw down. Lajoie with steal number 26. That's one of only 2 or 3 categories Lajoie does not possess the lead. Lajoie leading in batting and RBI and picking up women. I don't know, everything. So Tenney back in the box in the 0-1 from Eddie Seacott. Tenney swings fly ball, right field. Mike Tiernan back and makes the catch near the line. Lajoie tagging at second. Throw comes into Eddie Collins, and they're going to hold Lajoie with 2 down. So Cleveland playing a little conservatively here. I would have sent Lajoie. Dummy Hoy hitting .177, 2 home runs, 47 runs batted in. We'll give a look at Dummy Hoy there. Seacott's 2-1 delivery, knuckleball to Hoy, and slap to third. Bill Joyce up with it, on to Henry Larkin at first, and that will retire Cleveland. But Cleveland picks up a run on 2 hits, no errors. After a half inning, it's Cleveland 1 and Philadelphia coming to bat. George Van Haltren will lead it off, but first let's look at the defense for the Cleveland Spiders. In left field, Jimmy Sheckard. In center, Dummy Hoy. In right, Sam Thompson. From first to third, Fred Tenney. Nap Lajoie at second, Ray Chapman at short, home run Baker at third, George Gibson catching, and Jim Bagby pitching. Left fielder George Van Haltren, .236 average, a home run, 37 runs batted in for him. Infield looking bunt, Baker in a bit at third, and Tenney in a little bit further at first. Jim Bagby winds and fires. Full count on Van Haltren, and Van Haltren looks at called third strike. This one just painting the black on the inside corner. So Bagby rings up one away here. Shortstop George Davis. George Davis hitting .207, 3 homers, 44 runs batted in. Infield still looking bunt as Bagby with the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on, liner right to Ray Chapman. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. And here is Eddie Cocky Collins. Give you a look at Eddie. .250 average for Collins, 2 home runs, 47 runs batted in. It tells you how good this league is that Eddie Collins is hitting only .250. Bagby deals the 0-1 delivery to Eddie Collins. Collins gets a little bunt to Bagby. Bagby onto Lajoie covering, but this ball getting away from Lajoie, and Eddie Collins ends up at second. So it's error number 2, a throwing error on Jim Bagby as it gets away to Fred Tenney. Tenney having to chase it over in the stands here. This park, a bit like Huntington Avenue grounds, in that you don't have as much foul territory, but a big stretch going out there to center. Not quite the size of Huntington Avenue grounds that we've seen a lot in our past 7 games. Bill Joyce hitting just 179, 5 home runs, 47 ribbies. Bats lefty. Bagby checks Collins at second. Eddie Collins has stolen 49 bases. Good leadoff second. Here's the 2 out. 2-0 delivery to Joyce. Joyce swings, and this one lined to right. Sam Thompson will take it on the hop. Collins tags. He'll make it to third. Bill Joyce thought about second base, but there he does. He does. What do we have here? We've got to do a little replay here. Let's read what happens. So Thompson let it drop, base hit. Joyce going for second. It's cut off from Lajoie. Collins will score. And Chapman with the tag at second, and Bill Joyce is safe. So sometimes with Action PC you do have to consult this. So tie game here in the bottom of the first for right fielder Mike Tiernan. Tiernan hitting .249. He's batted in 37, and he has 3 round trippers. Bill Joyce at second with 35 steals. Jim Bagby with the 2-0 delivery now. And Tiernan, base hit, center field, dummy Hoy up with it. Joyce rounding third. Looks like they're waving him on, and he will score. And Philadelphia jumps out to a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the first. Henry Larkin steps now up to the box. Larkin with a 9-game hitting streak. So he's hitting .262, 64 runs batted in. He has 3 home runs in the season. Tiernan at first with 28 steals. Good lead from him, 2 down. Bagby with a check of the runner. Comes home with it. There goes Tiernan. Gibson comes up gunning the throw to Lajoie, and they get Mike Tiernan. Dead to rights. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. We've played 1. It's Cleveland 2, or Philadelphia 2, Cleveland 1. Due up, Jimmy Sheckard, Ray Chapman, and George Gibson. Sheckard acquired from the Cubs, hitting .226 with 32 runs batted in. Meyer sets the target for Knuckles Seacott, the 1-2. Infield looking bunt. Sheckard will disappoint them. Long fly ball to right field. Tiernan back and up against the wall, makes the catch. 1 down, and trying to see what that sign is out there. It looks like Calvert, or it's a Canada Dry sign. How cool is that? So up against the Canada Dry sign. Nice catch by right fielder Mike Tiernan. 1 away here for shortstop Ray Chapman. Chapman hitting .194, 2 runs, 50 runs batted in. Robbie Wartburg and his channel doing a replay of 1920. Ray Chapman was killed by a Carl Mays pitch in 1920. So Robbie going to try to play it out as if Chapman was not killed and the 7 remaining Black Sox were not Landised out. So do check in with Robbie Wartburg and his replay of the 1920 season, focusing, I'm assuming, on the White Sox and the Cleveland Indians. Tight race down the line until Landis dropped the hammer. Seacott with a 2-1 delivery, and Chapman, little bouncer to short. Shortstop George Davis has it easily on to Henry Larkin to retire Chapman for out number 2. George Gibson from the Pittsburgh Pirates, hitting .232, a home run and 42 ribbies for him. Seacott with the 2-2 knuckleball. Gibson, lazy fly ball to center field. Roy Thomas doesn't even have to move, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Bottom of the second, it's 2-1 Quakers in this high-stakes game. A lot of hitting streaks going on for these Philadelphia Quakers. So Larkin back in there with a 9-game hitting streak. Larkin was at bat when Mike Tiernan was caught stealing. Jim Bagby has struck out one thus far. The 0-1. Larkin lines it right to Ray Chapman, ranging to his left. So one away. Yes, Robbie. JT Dutch says, wow, the third place hitter in the lineup bunting. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that Action PC able to adopt those tactics for this time. Yeah, Robbie, we've talked about Ray Chapman a number of times. He was literally killed. The ball hit his head so hard that around the ballpark they thought he actually swung at the ball, and it hit his head so hard that the ball rolled out to second base. So yeah, as Ken Castro once again says, Saber, Robbie. Yes, Ray Chapman was killed by a pitch from Carl Mays. No batting helmets in them thar days, my Lone Star State friend. There's Walter coming in, says, and that's what he gets for jumping on the bed. He gets killed for jumping on the bed. That's interesting. Okay. So Chief Myers, 13-game hitting streak. Bagby winds and fires the 1-0. And grounder to second, launched way up with it on to Tenney for the 4-3 putout. Two away here, bottom of the second for Roy Thomas. 253. Let's have a gander here at Roy Thomas. 31 runs batted in. Thank you for retracting that there, Walter, even though he was killed in 1920. Try a little respect. To their credit, though, money was raised for Ray Chapman's widow. Carl Mays, not the most well-liked man. JT Dutch, of course, regaling us with a great tale here. Said after Chapman was killed, there was none of an effort through Major League Baseball. Yeah, there was more of an effort to keep a clean white ball in play. Yep. So, yeah, mods, just keep an eye if you would, please. Appreciate it. All right, here's the delivery. Payoff pitch to Roy Thomas, and Thomas lays off this one and draws the walk. So Roy Thomas aboard. Jim Bagby issuing a walk number 1. Thomas has stolen 21 bases. I'm looking at his runs batted in. And here's Eddie Seacott hitting 110, 6 runs batted in. There's Eddie. Bagby checks Thomas at first. The 1-1 delivery to Seacott. Change up. Seacott grounder to first. Fred Tenney will step on first for out number 3. The runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. 2 in the books. It's 2-1 Philadelphia over Cleveland. Jim Bagby will lead it off here, and then back at the top of the order, Sam Thompson and home run Baker. Jim Bagby on the season, 0 for 22. Seacott with a 1-0 delivery to Jim Bagby. Knuckleball popped foul behind the plate. Chief Myers tosses aside the mask, part of the tools of ignorance, and brings it down into his glove for out number 1. Top of the order now for the revamped Cleveland Spiders here in 1900. Sam Thompson tripled back in the first. Seacott works with the 0-2. Thompson swings, comebacker to the mound. Seacott fielding it nicely on to Henry Larkin for the 1-3 putout, and 2 away here. Home run Baker is 1 for 1 RBI, scoring Sam Thompson back in the first. Meyer sets the target. Seacott with a 2-1 delivery to Baker. Baker swings, base hit to left field. Van Haltren up with it, gets it to Davis quickly. Home run Baker aboard, and he has 24 steals in the season. Napoleon Lajoie, nothing for 1. Bunted, trying to sacrifice. Made it aboard first on the fielder's choice. Seacott checks Baker. There goes Baker. Meyer guns it down to second. Collins with a tag, not in time. Nice slide there by Frank Baker for the stolen base. 1-0 coming in now to Lajoie, and Baker starting to move to third. Davis up with it onto Larkin, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. Cleveland turned away. They left one. We go to the bottom of the third. It is 2-1 Philadelphia over Cleveland. Top of the order for the Quakers, George Van Haltren, George Davis, and Eddie Collins. Left fielder Van Haltren struck out against Bagby back in the first. The lone strikeout for Jim Bagby. Infield looking bunt. And Van Haltren, this one at the corner for a called third strike. One away for George Davis. Infield still in, looking bunt. George Davis last time lined right to short. Bagby winds the 0-2. Davis swings, and this one a long fly ball to left, going back on it as Sheckard against the wall makes the catch. Big loud out and 2 out for Eddie Collins. Great second baseman was safe on a throwing error back in the first. Bagby rears and fires a 3-1 to Collins, popped in the infield. Chapman calling for it. Out on the shallow left field grass, makes the play. We go to the fourth. The score remains Philadelphia 2 and Cleveland 1. Fred Tenney, Dummy Hoy, and Jimmy Sheckard do up the number 4, 5, 6 hitters. Tenney flied out back in the first. The line on Cicotte thus far, no strikeouts and no walks. He's thrown 37 pitches. Not that we care about that in this league, but the 0-1 to Tenney. Fly ball. Thomas back on this a little bit. Squeezes it for out number 1. And Aaron, if you're there, just let me know if you've been able to still switching seasons, working all right for you in Action PC Baseball. I certainly hope so. JT Dutch says Van Haltren, Davis, Collins, all those guys have had awful luck in this sim, or maybe the game really didn't get the realism. Maybe I shouldn't say anymore. No, say what you want, JT. It's a tough league. We've seen guys, some guys underperforming, some guys performing spot on. I'm guessing with a league like this, I mean, if you had everybody, I'm not sure what's going on behind the engine. I've played enough Action PC that it's really accurate as far as season replays, but I guess it begs the question, my friend, when you have leagues like this, draft leagues, how well and it's going to Steve Tate explained, he's a guru with this game, that it will normalize, and we did actually see that because we did the McGreevy League one other time, and we saw the 19th century guys get eaten alive, and when we adjusted to 1900, there was a lot more, I guess players were more accurate. Napoleon Lajoie doing what he did in this league, but yet a guy that immediately comes to mind for me is Sam Crawford, who's been an everyday player, and Crawford, I think, only hitting 256 in the league. So, yeah, no, it's please comment. It's not, I didn't program it. My feelings aren't hurt. I still think it's a great baseball sim. All right, Hoy is 0 for 1 in the contest, grounded to third. Cicotte's delivery, full count to Hoy, and Hoy base hit. Center field, Roy Thomas has it. Hoy rounding first, and he will hold. So, Dummy Hoy, with 45 steals, Jimmy Sheckard at the dish. He has nothing for 1. Fly to deep left, back in the second. Hoy, good leadoff first. Cicotte checks the runner, has the sign from Chief Myers. Throw over. Hoy back safely. Cicotte to work home again. Here we go. And there goes Hoy. The throw down by Myers. Hoy the slide. And he is safe. Steal number 46. Jimmy Sheckard back in the box. The 0-1 delivery from Cicotte. Little knuckler. And Sheckard can do nothing but pop this one on the infield. George Davis, Eddie Collins converging. Davis culling off Collins. And brings it down into the glove. Out number 2. Shortstop Ray Chapman hitting 194 as of this at bat. Grounded to his opposite number. Last time up. Thank you, Robbie. I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. I'll have a look at that this week and try to nail down the disparity between Diamond Mind and Action PC. The Diamond Mind one is just way off. But you did a great job. Thank you. Secret delivers the 1-1 pitch with 2 down. And this one also popped in the infield. Another knuckleball. So the floater working for Secret very well today. Davis makes the catch. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still 2-1. So these pitchers dueling it out. 6 total hits in this game. 2 for Philadelphia, 4 for Cleveland. 1 error committed by Cleveland. Cleveland has stranded 3, and Philadelphia 1. Bill Joyce 1 for 1. RBI single in the first, scoring Eddie Collins. Yeah, Robbie, it's going to take me some days to look at it, but I'll let everybody know what went on in there. I'm really suspicious of some of those performances, particularly Babe Adams. That one is strange. Bagby to Joyce in the 3-1. Joyce swings, fly ball to left. Sheckard going back on it, has it in his sights and in his glove. 1 up, 1 down for right fielder Mike Tiernan. Tiernan has been successful in 1 attempt. RBI back in the first, scoring Bill Joyce, making it Quakers 2 and the Spiders 1, and that is it. That's all the scoring in this game. It's a pitcher's duel now, it seems. 1-1 to Tiernan. Tiernan swings. This one, a little grounder to Baker at third, up with it, and a low throw past Tenney, and Tiernan is at second. So that's the 25th error at third base for home run Baker. But again, playing in an era where errors were high, and mixed in are some of these 19th century players who didn't use gloves at all. Small gloves were really the average. Many dead ball players talking about that they would actually hollow out a hole in the palm of their glove. So they didn't have those big Wilson and Rawlings gloves that we have nowadays. I want a baseball simulation, though, to simulate as the fielders come in, tossing their gloves and leaving them in the outfield as they did. What a neat thing that would have been to see. And nobody in this chat tonight is old enough to have seen that. I highly doubt it. I know that was still being done in the 50s, but I don't think anybody's seen that. Oh, by the way, Cousin Ken. So Mahone, what was this? Thank you. So did he turn out to be a dick? He might get an injection of the game. Thank you, Cousin. Appreciate it. And thank you, Robbie, for knocking him out. Yeah, I have no idea either. It's fine. He's gone. Never to return. All right, Henry Larkin is nothing for 1. I'm not sure, but I don't know. That one felt weird. And the comment about Ray Chapman was a bit... I don't know. I trust all you moderators. I trust you guys. So not sure what's going on there, but I trust you guys. I trust you guys. World's Worst Gamer was already picking up on something too. I trust you guys. No, I don't second guess my moderators at all. Anyhow, Tiernan on scoring position. Larkin line to short back in the second. Bagby brings it home. Larkin swinging on the first pitch. There goes Tiernan. A throw down by Gibson. And Tiernan will have the successful steal of third. And that's number 29. So Philadelphia playing a little bit of Providence baseball here. 1 out. Bagby from the stretch in the 0-1 to Larkin. There comes Tiernan home. And he is out. So the caught stealing. How about it? Philadelphia attempts the steal of home to no avail. 2 down How often do we see that? Yeah, that's fine, Robbie. It's good. Yeah, we got a good game going on. A steal of home attempted by Mike Tiernan. 2 away. Larkin back in the box in the 0-2 delivery. Larkin swings, chopped to second, Lajoie up with it, and on to Fred Tenney, and that retires the side. We go to the 5th, and the score remains the same. JT Dutch says Tiernan was just going to keep running until he was tagged. That's the second time we've seen that that happen. So I don't know. I'm going to have to dig deep in this after this is all over and see if we had any successful steals of home. Of course, a very rare play. Not as rare as hitting for a natural cycle, however, but certainly rare. All right, George Gibson leads it off here in the 5th. Gibson, line to center, back in the 2nd. Seacott brings it home and plunks Gibson. That didn't hurt too much. That was a little knuckleball. So George Gibson is fine. That little floater, not going to hurt him. 5 steals for the former Pirate catcher. Jim Bagby, acquired from the Cleveland, they would have been the Indians by then. Popped a catcher the last time, so Bagby, one of a little sprinkling of 1920s players in this league. Seacott checks Gibson at first. Infield looking bunt. Bagby gets one down, but Seacott is going to go to second for the lead runner. Gibson is retired. Bagby aboard in the fielder's choice. Failed sacrifice. And we're back at the top of the Cleveland order and Sam Thompson. Thompson tripled and then grounded to the pitcher. Seacott brings it home. Thompson cutting on the first pitch. No, throw down by Myers, and Jim Bagby picks up a steal. How about it? And in the baseball history collection, he had a steal, so he is right on point. Strange brew going on here. Seacott delivers, a little shocked, I think. Fly ball to right. This one has distance by Thompson, going back. Tiernan making the catch. Bagby will tag and make third easily. Thompson gave it a ride. 2 down. Potential tying run. 90 feet away for home run Baker. Perfect 2 for 2 today at the dish. RBI single in the first, scoring Sam Thompson, and then a single in the third. Seacott from the stretch, and the 1-1 to Baker. Knuckleball. Baker swings, fouled on the right-hand side. Larkin giving chase, but he's going to quickly run out of real estate. 1-2 now to Baker. Baker swings, fly ball to right. Tiernan back on this ball, and in front of the wall makes the catch. So nothing across for the Spiders. They waste one, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still 2-1 Philadelphia over Cleveland. Chief Myers, looking for an extension to his 13-game hitting streak, steps in the box now. Nothing for one thus far. Grounded to second. Back in the 2nd. Bagby lets it go. The 0-2. Chief Myers grounded deep in the hole. It's short. Chapman making a nice play on that ball, and in plenty of time makes the play to retire Myers. So nice play by Chapman on that 6-3 put out. Infield looking bunt for Roy Thomas. Walked back in the 2nd. Bagby lets it go. The 0-1 to Thomas. The lefty swings. Routine grounder to short. It's the Ray Chapman show on this 6-3 put out. 2 down. And here's Knuckles Seacott. He grounded to first back in the 2nd. Bagby works to him. The 0-1. Seacott swings. And this one slapped foul on the first base side. 0-2. And clean base hit up the middle, splitting Chapman and Lajoie. And Eddie Seacott aboard with a base hit. That is number 3 for Philadelphia. As we go back to the top of the order once again for George Van Halteren. He has struck out twice against Jim Bagby. The only 2 strikeouts, by the way, for Bagby in the contest. He delivers the 0-1, and Van Haltren, a little number down to first. Fred Tenney has it, and a quick underhand toss to Bagby to retire the speedy Van Haltren for out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. 5 in the books here at Shibe Park in the city of brotherly love. It's Philadelphia 2, Cleveland 1. Robbie Wartburg says doing a very small 12-team tournament on Dombrov baseball that I'll be featuring once Richard sends me an update to test. Using the all-time All-Stars, Phillies walked it off coming from behind to beat the Red Sox 4-3. So a tiny 12-team tournament. All right. So Robbie Wartburg referring to Dombrov baseball that we'll be looking at again, hopefully this week. Richard promised in a few days to get something out to test, as there is interest in the community in that game. I think it's a nice bridge for the dice chuckers and the digital heads like myself, because you can roll your own dice in that game, and it's basically Sports Illustrated baseball, but done up really, really nicely. 3-1 to Lajoie, and Lajoie draws the walk. And so the tying run is aboard for Cleveland, Fred Tenney. Ellis Kinder with a blown save. Curious what teams, are these the all-time All-Stars? Right, so these are franchise. Okay, got it. Phillies, Red Sox. Interesting. Lajoie, good lead at first. 26 steals in the season. Fred Tenney has flied out twice. Seacott throws over. Lajoie dives back under the Larkin tag. Seacott brings it home. The 0-1 to Tenney. There goes Lajoie. This one fouled back, so the hit and run looked like it was on. Fred Tenney now looking at an 0-2 from Seacott. Here it comes. Lajoie not moving this time. Routine fly ball to center. Roy Thomas has it for out number 2. Lajoie retreats to first. Nice play by Thomas going over the wall, or going over the shoulder for that one. Over the wall. Holy hell. All right, Dummy Hoy. I never claimed to be good at this anyhow. Dummy Hoy batting with 1 down, 1 on. Singled back in the 4th. Seacott with a 2-0 delivery. There goes Lajoie, and this one chopped up the middle, and their play will be to first. So Davis fires on to first, and Lajoie safe at second. I want to make a brief comment about a channel that you guys should check out. And this will be for all of you guys that are fans of all sports, but particularly baseball. It's called Office Blokes. And so it's like these 3, I think they're Aussies, pretty sure. But anyhow, they're into baseball, and they're trying to learn the game. And just check out some of the reactions and stuff like that. It's really, really, it's a really fun channel. Not sure. One of them at least is an Aussie. I'm not sure about the other guys. They sound either Aussie or Kiwi. I'm not sure which, but do check out that channel. It's a lot of fun. They cover all sports, but I've been obviously just checking out the baseball stuff, and it's kind of cool to see how they look at our national pastime, as it is gaining popularity in the UK a bit. Ireland's still number 1 in rugby, by the way, so yay Ireland. Jimmy Sheckard is nothing for 2. Popped to short his last time up. The 1-1, knuckleball again to Sheckard. Sheckard, base hit. Right field, this should tie the game with 2 outs. Lajoie rounding third. Tiernan's throw to the plate, not even close. We are tied. Sheckard will move to second on the play. Game tied at 2 here in the top of the 6th. Good game going here, I think, as World's Worst Gamer said way back. Chapman has grounded to short and popped to short. Over 2. Sheckard to second. Seacott delivers. Chapman swings. Fly ball to left. This one has distance. Van Haltren back on it and makes the catch. But a run in on 1 hit, no errors, a man left after 5.5. We are tied at 2. George Davis, Eddie Collins, and Bill Joyce to bat for Philadelphia, the number 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Jing Bagby struck out 2, walked 1. Infield looking bunt. Bagby with the 0-2 fastball. Davis, little chopper to short. Chapman up with it, and the quick throw across to Tenney, and this one gets past Fred Tenney, but Tenney able to keep it close by him, and that's going to be a throwing error on Ray Chapman. The E6, that's number 46 for him. And George Davis is aboard. George Davis has wheels, 40 steals for him. Collins, nothing for 2, was safe on a throwing error in the first, popped to short back in the third. Bagby with a check of Davis. There goes Davis. Gibson fires it down. Chapman with the tag. George Davis with theft number 41. Go-ahead run in scoring position for the Quakers here in the bottom of the 6th. Bagby peers in, has the sign from Gibson. And here's the pitch. Collins. This one to Lajoie. Lajoie to Tenney in the 4-3. George Davis will move to third. 1 away. Go-ahead run just 90 feet down the line for Bill Joyce. Bill Joyce RBI scoring Eddie Collins back in the first. 1 for 2. Bagby ready to deal now. And here comes Davis. And he is safe. We have a stolen... He steals home. Oh my God, what a shocker. A steal of home. How cool was that? So runner on third, Bagby with the first pitch. Davis is breaking for home. The pitch is a strike. The plate. Gibson's tag. And George Davis is safe. So his 42nd steal. I love it. A successful steal of home. And it's 3-2 Philadelphia. Wow. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. All right, Bill Joyce back in the box with 1 down. Gutsy play. Bagby brings it home. The 0-1 to Joyce. And Joyce looks at it, the call and third strike on the outside corner. Woof. MV, not only stolen base, but a steal of home. Yeah, well, again, with the chalkboard here, what I want to see is, I want to see a steal of home in out-of-the-park baseball. I want to see how they would animate something like that. All right, got the game on as he's catching some Zeds. Very nice. Tiernan batting with 2 down, bases empty, 1 in. Base hit. No, this one lined. And Hoy takes it on the short hop. Base hit for Mike Tiernan, and that's hit number 4 for Philadelphia. Henry Larkin still on that 9-game hitting streak. He is 0 for 2. Mike Tiernan attempted a steal of home and was gunned down earlier in the game, but George Davis getting it done successfully. 29 steals for Tiernan. He has 1 today, by the way. Bagby checks the runner. Tiernan off to the races. Gibson throws down, and this one errant gets out to center field. Hoy's throw to third, and Tiernan is safe. So Tiernan picks up a steal. Philadelphia now bringing the running game, trying to break up a little pitcher's duel action here. Tiernan 90 feet away. Is he going to try it again? Bagby with the 0-1 to Larkin. Here it comes, and there comes Tiernan, but this one a base hit. It was a hit and run with 1 down. Larkin will pick up the RBI single. 4-2 Philadelphia. What was that game? Oh, who was it? The guy that played Squiggy, I think it was. And League of Rose says, "Oh, doctor!" Right? So, gotta love it. All right. 10 hits in the game. Chief Myers, nothing for 2, trying to extend his hitting streak. Larkin at first. 16 steals in the season for him. Bagby brings it home. The 1-1. Larkin on the move. Base hit up the middle. Hoy up with it. Larkin rounding second. Myers making the turn at first. The throw to third. Larkin slide in there easily. Philadelphia looking to bust it open here. 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Larkin at third. Myers at first. For center fielder Roy Thomas, who has walked and grounded to short. Bagby brings it home to Thomas in the 1-1. Thomas swings. Grounder to third, home run Baker to the throw across the diamond to Fred Tenney. Side retired. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, 2 left, and a steal of home. And it's Philadelphia 4, Cleveland 2. I wonder if one of my erudite researchers might do me a favor and find out when the last time in the major leagues was home stolen. I'd love to know that. I don't know. Love to know when home was stolen. Lou Gehrig was a stealer of home occasionally, as was Jackie Robinson, of course. But I'd love to know, Ty Cobb, I'd love to know when was the last steal of home in Major League Baseball. It might be very recent. I'm just curious when it was. I have no idea. I'd appreciate somebody looking. As Robbie is absorbed in Dombrov baseball. Next up, he says, all-time All-Stars, Cardinals at Pirates, Game 1. Ken Castro thinks that the last steal of home in Major League Baseball was 1996. Thank you for that, Ken. So crazy to think that's what that if that's true, that's 27 years. Seacott deals the 1-1 to Gibson. Gibson, little dribbler to second, and Collins onto Larkin for the 4-3 putout, 1 down. And Ken Castro says postseason 2020, there was 1. Okay, so Erosena was postseason MV, says. Robbie Wartburg is Robbie Wartburg's making a comment there in the chat. Cool. Seacott delivers to Bagby, and Bagby comebacker to the mound. Seacott to his right throws on to Henry Larkin to retire Bagby on the 1-3 putout. 2 away here. And there is Midlife Crisis, the manager of the Philadelphia Quakers. You have a steal of home, man. So, don't know how long you're going to be hanging out, but if you want to make any changes, you're the home team, and you got here before. Well, Todd's not here, so. Sam Thompson, 1 for 3, back at the top of the Cleveland order. Again, big game here. Thompson with a triple. Seacott with the 1-1. Thompson swings. This one's going to twist foul on the right-hand side. Tiernan runs out of room. Again, not a lot of foul territory here at Shibe. Oh, Midlife Crisis says Bryce Harper stole home early last year. Okay. JT Dutch saying Malik Smith stole second, third, and home in the same inning in 2019. Good to see some crazy, risky baseball still around. The 1-2 now to Sam Thompson. Seacott and base hit right field. And Sam Thompson is aboard. Cleveland picking up base hit number 6. 4-2 Philadelphia lead here in the top of the 7th. Sam Thompson, 29 steals in the season. Home run Baker 2 for 3 in the day, including an RBI back in the first. Thompson, good lead at first. Seacott checks the runner. The 0-2 to home run Baker. Cut on. Chopped to short. George Davis will go to first. Larkin stretches. And they do just get Baker. Nice play by George Davis. Middle of the 7th, 4-2, Philadelphia leading Cleveland. Robbie Wartburg saying, he says, plus he's slowly working his way up to 1 million projects to impress Ken Castro. Midlife Crisis says he's been on vacation. Good to hear. Always good to be on holiday. He says he's in bed, fingers crossed. Let's go Quakers. JT Dutch saying George Stacey Davis, one of the best and his favorite, and one of his favorite players of the 19th century. Nice of his era, George Davis. Good stuff. George stealing home and making a great play. That's short, so Philadelphia needs to be happy with this. Eddie Seacott is 1 for 2 in the game. He'll lead it off here for the Quakers in the back of the top of the order. George Van Haltren and the man receiving accolades tonight, Mr. George Davis. So Seacott single back in the 5th. Bagby has fanned 3 and walked 1. The 0-1 delivery. Seacott swings. Little chopper to short. Chapman coming in on it. Quick throw to Tenney. And they'll get knuckles by about 2 steps. 1 up, 1 down. And the speedy George Van Haltren now, who was struck out twice and grounded to first. So having a rough time against Cleveland's Jim Bagby. Bagby with the 0-1. Cut on. This one up the middle. But Lajoie intercepts. On to Tenney for out number 2. Yeah, oh yes, he is. He is. He's in there. Well, that's right. This is yeah, MV or Britt learning the game. And again, now you're getting into, now you're going back. You got into dead ball. Now you're starting to explore the 19th century and finding it was great baseball. Oh, and so George Davis with 2 steals. A steal of third and a steal of home. Gotta love it. Bagby delivers to Davis. Davis swings. This one line to right, but Sam Thompson has it for the out. So a bullet caught by Thompson, and that ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. We've played 7 in this high-stakes game, the battle for the visitors' position in our World Series versus Manchester. It's 4-2 Philadelphia over Cleveland, and Cleveland will send up the number 3, 4, 5 hitters. And its order: Napoleon Lajoie, Fred Tenney, and Dummy Hoy. Lajoie, for him, not a good game. Nothing for 2. He did walk in the 6th. Is he seeing knuckles better? Who knows? Seacott has walked a batter, has not fanned anyone. Lajoie swings on the first pitch, bunts. Myers pounces on it like a cat to a kibble and takes care of Napoleon Lajoie for out number 1. Fred Tenney wearing the collar. Cousin Kenny's wearing the collar. He's flied out 3 times. Seacott with the 0-2. Cut on this knuckleball. Fly ball to center. Thomas backing up and makes the catch. 2 away here in the top of the 8th as Dummy Hoy steps to the plate. He is 1 for 3. Christopher Slovic. He is here. He is here. He is here. Good to see you, Chris. All right, bases empty for Dummy Hoy. 2 away. Hoy swings. Chop to second. Collins making an error. That's number 31, and the E4 allows Dummy Hoy to reach first with 2 down. A tying run comes to the plate, and Jimmy Sheckard, who is 1 for 3. Dummy Hoy has 46 steals in the season. Eddie Seacott throws over. Hoy back safely. Seacott peers in. Myers with a sign, the 0-1. Sheckard, base hit to left. Van Haltren up with it. Hoy round second. And the throw to third. And Dummy Hoy is safe. Runners at the corners now. Cleveland causing a little bit of trouble here. Ray Chapman 0 for 3. He is grounded, popped out, and flied out. Sheckard at first has 22 steals. Seacott from the stretch. And the 2-2 pitch. And Chapman, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Bottom of the 8th action. Philadelphia holding on to a 4-2 lead. So back in the top of the 1st. Home run Baker with the RBI, scoring Sam Thompson, making it Cleveland 1, and Philadelphia had yet to come to bat. Philadelphia in the bottom of the second, Bill Joyce with an RBI, single scoring Collins, and then Mike Tiernan single scoring Bill Joyce. And then in the top of the sixth, Jimmy Sheckard, RBI single scoring Napoleon Lajoie. Bottom of the sixth, Philadelphia answered with 2. And George Davis stole home, breaking that brief tie, made it 3-2 Philadelphia. And then Henry Larkin with the RBI single to score Mike Tiernan. And that brings us up to date with our score of 4-2. Eddie Collins, nothing for 3. Jim Bagby brings it home, the 2-1 base hit for Eddie Collins, straight up the middle. Eddie Collins, 49 steals on the season. Aggressive lead. There's Bill Joyce. Struck out back in the sixth. Bats a lefty. Bagby with a check of Collins at first. There goes Collins. Gibson throws down. Chapman's tag. And Eddie Collins has stolen his 50th base of the season. Joyce back in the box now, and the 1-0. Throw back from Bagby. Quick spin. Collins not biting. The 1-0 once again. And Bill Joyce draws the walk. So Bagby loses Joyce. 2 aboard for Philadelphia. Mike Tiernan steps to the plate. 2 for 3, including 2 steals. Collins at second, Joyce at first. So a bit of speed on the base paths and ducks in the pond for Philadelphia. 4-2 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Infield looking bunt from Tiernan. Bagby deals the 1-1 pitch. Tiernan swings on this one and taps it foul on the right-hand side. So Fred Tenney getting to that misshapen ball and tossing it back to Jim Bagby. The 1-2 coming home to Mike Tiernan. Tiernan swings. Fly ball to left. Jimmy Sheckard going back, and you can kiss it goodbye. Mike Tiernan bombs it out of here. It's a 3-run shot. Jim Bagby touched up big time, and Philadelphia now taking a commanding 7-2 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Wow. That home run just crushed 381 feet. Left center at Shibe Park. We'll call it left. Big wow from MV. As JT Dutch says, he remembers. I remember reading about how Jim Bagby's son stopped Joe DiMaggio's hitting streak. It was at Bagby and Smith. It was at Hal Smith, I believe, was the other pitcher. And DiMaggio was pissed because Heinz Company of Pittsburgh offered him like a crap ton of money if he would have hit safely in 57 games. But DiMaggio would go on the day after and would begin another hitting streak. I forget how long that would last. I'm sure JT would know. And he says, right, Hal Smith. Greets to Clinton Parks coming in here and catching what was a good game, including a steal of home. Up until now, Mike Tiernan crushes it. All right, Henry Larkin, 1 for 3, singled back in the 6th. Nobody out here. Jim Bagby deals the 0-1. And Larkin base hit to left. And with the Cleveland manager not here, the only way I'm going to pull Bagby at this point is if he gets tired. Got to keep it safe. Got to keep it fair. World's Worst Gamer saying to Ken that things are much better for Action PC once he switched to single pitch mode. Realism is back in his game finally. Larkin aboard first, nobody out. Bagby with the 1-0 delivery to Chief Myers. And Myers, Bagby bobbles the ball. Myers got good contact on that, was hoping to extend his hitting streak, but he is aboard with an error. Things falling apart here for Jim Bagby. Larkin at second, Myers at first for Roy Thomas. He has walked and grounded out twice. Bagby brings it home to Thomas, and the crowd goes deathly quiet here. Chapman to Lajoie to Tenney, and the side is retired. And we go to the ninth, and Cleveland fans, and don't know why we lost our game sound here, but we're going to soldier on. Eddie Seacott, and then George Van Haltren and George Davis. And we're just going to let this one go out quickly. Here we go. Here's the pitch. 2 out. And Lajoie makes the catch. We go to the ninth. And it's up to George Gibson to try to start a miracle here. And really weird that the sound cut out. Hopefully you guys are hearing me. Seacott delivers. And we're getting no sound from the game at all. This is weird. Anyhow, Tiernan back on it and makes the catch. Out number 1. And we got to do something here. We can't let Bagby, that bad baseball. Oh, can't change the computer lineup? Yes, I can. Oh, yes, I can. We're gonna bring in a pinch hitter. Yeah, I know, Robbie. I've been saying that. Thank you. I appreciate that, buddy. I'm just not going to worry about it at this point. Let me try this, though, if I can toggle. It's been just acting weird. Anyhow, I've got to change this to human, and we got to at least pinch hit for Bagby. Not going to leave him in there. Let's see. Hit percent. Going to pick whoever has the highest hit percentage. It's going to be Cap Anson. All right. Anson deals, or Anson in there, I'm sorry. Cap Anson hitting 262, 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Something I've noticed with Action PC that it's been doing that a little bit this year. The 1-2 delivery. Anson swings. Routine grounder. Collins up with it over to Larkin for out number 2. And things are going to get really interesting here in the standings. Sam Thompson, 2 for 4. Seacott brings it home. The 0-1 delivery, knuckleball. Thompson, long fly ball to center. Thomas back on this one. And that's it. Philadelphia wins this one 7-2. Damn fine game until the 8th. Let's look at our recap very, very quickly, and then the standings. Philadelphia and Cleveland with identical records at 77 and 71. Jim Bagby with the loss, he goes to 6-6, and Eddie Seacott improves to 11 and 12. We're just going to quickly go to our miscellaneous. We know about the steal of home, of course, which was lots of fun. Ray Chapman with a great play. George Davis with 1. Thomas with 1. And the MVP, Eddie Seacott. Sam Thompson for Cleveland went 2 for 5 with a triple. And Mike Tiernan 3 for 4, including that big 3-run homer. 4 runs batted in for Tiernan. Great game. Got to give the co-MVP to Mike Tiernan. So Mike Tiernan and Eddie Seacott. And now we wait for the final standings to ring out. And here we go. So it is a dead-up tie for second place. Philadelphia and Cleveland each at 77 and 71. Providence and Bellingham with identical records of 76 and 72. Butler, very much an outside at this point, but 2 games back. So Butler still has a chance, 2 games above 500. 2 games left to the season, and there we go. Crazy stuff. So I think that is it. We'll have baseball tomorrow night, and once again, we'll see these same 4 teams: Providence at Manchester and Cleveland and Philadelphia. And good game, good games all the way around. Have one more here. Robbie, are you going to be doing anything, or you're stuck in Dombrov land now tonight? Yeah, still could get a five-way tie for second, which I hope doesn't happen. But if it does, it does. We'll work it out. Great game, says Midlife Crisis. It certainly was. It was a great game in both ways. We got to see a pretty rare play, but it was a good pitcher's duel. But then it all fell apart. So Robbie is not sure that he's going to stream. So if he is, he is, and I guess if he's not, he's not. So he's now he's created a tournament in Dombrov baseball using one of the all-time all-stars. There's like 3 or 4 of those. Among I think it's about 100 seasons you can download for free and stuff. Not just seasons, but other things as well. And of course, you can create your own seasons in that game. You can do a lot in Dombrov baseball. I'll be showing it a little bit on the channel. Richard Dombrov is going to be sending a little update for me to test, as I know some are interested in that game. Right now, the main problem is the animation is janky. It's janky, and he's working on animation. So the ball flight, when the ball's being pitched, it's kind of really weird. But there's a lot of good things to be said about Dombrov baseball. It's not bells and whistles in the same way that Out of the Park is, or but then what is, except I guess for MLB The Show and Super Mega Baseball for that matter. But it's a good, solid baseball sim. Richard was a big player at one time in the Action PC community. You can definitely see some influence from Action PC baseball in terms of flexibility in Dombrov baseball. I think you guys will like it. You can choose to roll your own dice. It's Sports Illustrated Baseball, as Clinton said, on steroids. You can set up tournaments now for the first time. That was newly added in this 2023 update of Dombrov baseball. So look for that later this week, provided Richard can get that to me. And there we go. Ken Castro, Bellingham. He says Bellingham and Providence have to win both games if Cleveland and Philly split to get a 4-way tie. World's Worst Gamer says he doesn't need any more games to play. It's really inexpensive too. If I know that doesn't help, but I know there's interest in it, and I think it's a good one. You can play it completely as a digital game, like Action PC or Out of the Park or whatever, or you can throw your own dice. So I would say its direct competition is really Digital Diamond Baseball. It's very much like that. And with Digital Diamond Baseball incorporating Status Pro into this year's edition, it'll be neat to do a comparison of those two. I don't really play Digital Diamond, but I do buy it every year. So I'll buy it again this year, and maybe we'll do a head-to-head broadcast down the line once both games are, or once Digital Diamond's out and Dombrov is updated, and we'll just look at a little head-to-head between the two, since there's more similarities between those two than those two and this game and Out of the Park baseball, or baseball for Windows for that matter. JT Dutch says, I think the World Digital Diamond, the potential with that game is tremendous. It really, really is. I think that if Mark will take some constructive criticism, which he hasn't always been very good at, as Midlife Crisis has gone off to sleep, I think it would. I think it will. I think it was 2020 that he missed his Steam deadline, and I think that really hurt him. But he's bouncing back, and I think Mark has a good ball game there. I really do, and I'm interested to see how Status Pro is going to be integrated into Digital Diamond Baseball. Good stuff. It's good stuff. What I would like to see, I guess I've gotten spoiled by a lot of the other games that I play is dealing with libraries and with seasons in Digital Diamond is just it's crazy, horrendous, not fun. Um, if you're a replayer, it's pretty it's cool. But if you're wanting to create a league like this, for instance, or one like our 19th Century and Dead Ball tournament coming up, once this is all wrapped up, it's a pain in the arse to deal with. It really, really is. But it's a good game. It's a good game. And so is Dombrov Baseball, so those two will be fun. Ken says that he says he can see the Dombrov game going into the virtual trash can in about 2 days, so not his cup of tea. Cousin Ken already losing his love for Diamond Mine Baseball as well. All is good. You play what you love, right? So JT Dutch is a replayer. Well, you can certainly speak to it anyhow. So for a replayer, Digital Diamonds, yeah, click, 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 you're ready to rock. But doing teams or bringing in players from all over the place, that it needs work. But I think it's a good game. I do. I've been buying it, JT, since version 6. So, and he's coming into version 11. So I've bought it every year. But yeah, I like Digital Diamond Baseball a lot. Good game. Good game. Good game. WordSource Gamer says, if the interface was much more solid, I'd be happier. Yeah, it's not a very good... I don't have it installed, I don't think, or I would show. Just really quickly while I finish this, because I got a few minutes left. Let me see if I have Digital Diamond installed. I don't think I do. For those of you who may not have seen it. And... oh, you guys can't see Steam right now. Oh, yes, you can. There you go. All right, let me do my library here. Digital. Nope, I do not have it installed, unfortunately. In fact, I do not. And let me see. I have a total playing time of 13 minutes this year in it because I just got into everything else. But good stuff. It's only 500 megabytes. Let's install it really quickly and let's have a look at it. Why not? Yeah, JT Dutch saying that he thinks Digital Diamond could do better with revealing the logic behind where the ball is hit also. Okay, and so, yeah, we'll get rid of that, go away, and still downloading, or it's doing something. I don't know what it's doing, but... so, Robbie says to Ken, poor Diamond Mine. And Ken Castro said could have used that money for a trip to the to the club, Robbie. Ken Castro, of course, talking about a drag racing club, right? Because you race down a strip. So there we go. Let's look at Digital Diamond. And again, this is not a fair look at it yet because I don't have any of the there's no player photos or anything like that. I don't think. Let's take a look at it. So there it is. This is the opening screen for Digital Diamond Baseball. Kind of cool. Two rendered bats against a wall, so somebody looks like they were playing with some 3D software. So you can install a library, and this is nicer. So as I said, for replayers, there you go, man. You're like ready to rock. And this goes back to 1908. I don't know if there's any gaps. I don't think. It's been a while. It's been a while. So there's a great teams league in here. There's a lot of baseball in here to play. He's got decade all-time teams for 1980s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. So let's pick one. I don't know if Aaron is still in here. We'll pick 1990 because he's a big 1990 baseball season fan. Okay, so it's here, right? So now, right, it doesn't really tell you what to do. So but you click on 1990, and then now here is where everything happens. And this ball game is, and this baseball game, user guide nicely provided here by Mark, and I will show you. In on there's it opens into a Steam page that gives you what's new, whole video on library management, how to play games, making substitutions, adding custom leagues. You can see there's like all kinds of stuff here. So a little sort of video manual here for Digital Diamond Baseball. I've been saying Diamond Mind. I'm sorry, guys. You can play an exhibition right out of the rip, which is nice. I do like that. Again, sorry I don't have player photos installed, but there you go. You can select what you want. Maybe we can do a quick game here really quickly, but I do want to go back if I can. Yeah, there we go. So this thing sort of think of it as a browser. You got to go up there and hit this, and then it's going to go back to that last screen, and there you can see all these matchups all ready to go. But if you want to do things like put in logos and pictures, then you're going to go into the organization editor, and you're going to go to edits, and you can move teams around and stuff. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You know, we're going to leave Atlanta where it was. We're going to cancel that. We're going to go back. What else can you do? It does reports. It has an encyclopedia. Has a player editor, schedule editor. Hint, hint. Dave Cook, Action PC. It's a schedule editor, so that's good. League averages, transaction editor. You can set manager profiles in this game, by the way. And so you let the computer manage substitutions at the start of each game based on real life playing time. And then you can also, you want to manage substitutions yourself. You can choose to apply things globally if you wish. Playing time limits are enabled. So a lot going on. Pinch runner substitutions, right? And it's going to go by an E-WAR limit and late game limits, so it will enforce that. Starting rotation management strict. So there's really a plethora of options in Digital Diamond Baseball. And I know you're all wondering, well, how come I only played it 13 minutes? So anyhow, we'll get to that. It's not for a bad reason. Team editor. So you can see ballparks are here, really nice. But it's really kind of logos and stuff. So we go to edit, and yeah, I would just go to California. So you got to find logos, right? And you can use your logos in Action PC Baseball. So all I would have to do really is you have to. It doesn't come with logos, so and that's no problem, right? No problem. So I don't need to do that. But that's how you set it up. Ballparks are here. And I do believe, if memory serves, actually, that if you pick an older season, you will get older ballparks, which is nice. So this is all good. I forget what the thumbs up does now. I don't know what I just did there. But anyhow. So it has a customizable play-by-play, which is really good. I'm just speaking to 5 people now, but that's fine. This has a customizable play-by-play, which is nice. There's some extra stuff that you can get. I contributed a couple files some years ago, best of the 1900s and 1910s, I think, or 1920s. I can't remember. So that's good. There's sort of team attributes that you can do. Not necessary. You can create new attributes for teams. There's really a lot, but we'll get into a game so you can see kind of what it looks like. You can get there's a really neat little season overview. It looks like it hasn't started yet, so you play some games and it's going to keep a nice running season. So I see there's a little bit of out of the park influence in here. Let's do an exhibition game, just for not a whole thing, not a whole game, but just so you guys can get a look at it. So 1990, hell, I don't know. Cincinnati, of course. We'll make them the home team, and we'll just do Pittsburgh as Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. And I am going to make some mistakes. It's been a while, so it's going to be Doug Drabeck, Jack Armstrong, DH, no DH. I'm going to have Cincinnati managed by the computer. I can have them both managed by the computer, but I'll manage the Pirates. And set lineups. And looks like it's ready to go. I forgot that the Pirates had Wally Backman for a little while. How about that? We can look at Cincinnati's. And we're ready to go. Let's play ball. Yeah, let's play some baseball. And I'm sorry. Oh, that hurts. Oh, ow. Sorry, guys. Okay, that has to go. Alright, anyhow. So, why did I only play this for 13 minutes? Because there's so much that you would have to do to sort of make this a little larger. It's a pain. The interface is not nice. You have to do so much work in this thing to get it. Once you get it, it's nice. This also has board game commands in it, what have you. You can roll dice in this if you want. You can play it just as a digital. And of course, this has always been present here in this middle box in Digital Diamond Baseball that was just really introduced, or expanded upon, I should say, expanded upon an Action PC where you see percentile chances here. And if you roll dice, you'll see these, okay? I can't remember on this one how to get to it, but we'll go ahead and we'll just do it. We're going to swing. So Wally Backman steps in and leads it off for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And you get to see your lineup down here left to right, which is kind of nice. I think it's a nice little graphic representation rather than the usual sort of thing. So we'll go ahead. And it's rolling for the swing. And that's a 405, and we know that was out. And then we go over here and reread this. Swung on, drive to right field. Slicing away from Winningham, but he one-hands it to take care of Backman. Nice play. You can turn off the dice if you want. Let's see. Let's go to options, because that play-by-play is super tiny. Good God, where is it? So it's really, really dense. It's dense, dense, dense. So it's Verdana, but I want to change the size. And I can't seem to change the size. Where's the size? Where's the size, man? I have no idea. Oh, here's where you can turn or hide dice rolls or enter dice rolls manually. So if you guys like to chuck dice, you can roll them and input them. The play-by-play window height, let me see, can I make this larger? Let's see what happens here. Not much. You can change the colors to make it easier to read. So I can see Jose Lind is there. So let's swing away. And it's jumping around, and we already know this is an out. So again, dice chuckers are used to that, right? You're looking up that, and you can see that immediately. And this does have it has a decent play-by-play to it. So let me see if we can, one more thing. So let's go back to options. What are these board game commands? Let's see what they are. Oh, there's a ton of them. Dice chucking guys. There's 6 pages of commands here. You're not going to be able to see this. But if you hit this, you get a little PDF of all of these. Let me see. So to use the board game companion, you should set both managers to human, set the dice roll visibility option to enter dice rolls manually, and set the board game quick pitch option to true. For more details, check out the related videos and user guide. So there's all these commands, and it's pretty dense, as you can see. So if you like cards and dice baseball, you'll feel right at home with this. So here's like, if you're using these with board games, is also the other nice thing. So if you're playing this with Strat, there you go. If you're playing it with Pocket Pennant, which I know the erstwhile Dave Gardner has been using with that, for season ticket baseball. So this is pretty cool. You can use this. Be nice to see APA in here. And some other ones. I think Clinton, I'm not sure, but I thought Clinton was doing something with this in conjunction with National Pastime Next Generation Plus. I can't remember. JT Dutch says he totally wish he had this back when he was playing cards and dice way back in the day. Font size, third from the top right. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate you. Let's look for it. Options. Thank you. Let's go to larger. There we go. The thing is it scrolls. Player things, kind of small. But is it good? It's a good game. I think it could be a great game. That organ has to go at the beginning. Let's have another one here. Who do we got? Who's up? Who's up? Who's up? I have no idea. Barry Bonds. And Chopper past Armstrong. Duncan collects and makes a quick throw over to first. And no runs, no hits, nobody left on base for Pittsburgh. And after a half inning, it's Pittsburgh nothing, Cincinnati nothing. It's basically how the game plays out. You can do pitches, you can walk. For under fielders is where you're going to set your infield positioning. So normal, in, corners, no doubles. You can select to hold the runner. If you want, you can also, it has, if you want to cycle through infield positioning, you have hotkeys Control L for positioning and Control H to toggle holding the runner, on at first. It's a feature-rich game. I'm really curious. I don't like, what I don't like is this kind of compressed view here. While I think this is novel, this is taking up, there's a lot of real estate that could be sort of moved around here, perhaps. But you do have a clear view of the box score, and this kind of reminds me a little bit of when I'm watching guys playing PC replay baseball. And I guess this is just saying ready. I don't know if you can play this online. JT Dutch might know better because he plays it. He likes this game. I can't remember if you can play this. But that's Digital Diamond Baseball. And we'll show off Dombrov. So, and I like the game. My question is the implementation that everybody's talking about, that could be just the implementation of the board game rules, which means we're not going to actually get, I don't know that we're actually going to get Status Pro Baseball integrated. That's what I'm guessing now that I'm seeing this. Okay, JT Dutch doesn't play online. Yep, version 11. Don't know when Mark is, don't know when he's going to do it. World Source Gamer said you made me check the Steam page. Oh my god, the drama. Well, again, Robbie, we're not really sure that that it's going to be integrated. It might be just in the board game rules. So I'm not really sure. Somebody mentioned that Status Pro is going to be integrated, and I don't know what that means. I'm still going to buy it. So you can click on players, by the way, just as you can in Out of the Park Baseball and Action PC. And so another problem I would say with this game is while the aesthetic is kind of nice, I think the greens could be a little darker, right? Or bold this up or something. This is not. So my eyesight's not the best. But it's pretty cool. So you can look at replays for postseason, careers, daily, replay splits, transactions, event tables. Again, not much going on right now because we're just in the very first. In fact, we're just playing an exhibition game. Today's games, out-of-town scores currently disabled, obviously. So it does have that. An Action PC, which is something I don't use, is you can have a 10-minute ticker, as it were. So thank you, Robert, for that. Action PC also uses that. Out of the park baseball, and you can actually jump into games in out of the park baseball on that. So that's pretty cool. Not sure the Digital Diamond does that. What's the price on this bad boy? I can't even remember. Let's go to my library, and let's go to the store page. So version 10 right now is $24.99. So you have to. Your decision is you're going to spend $24.99 for Digital Diamond Baseball, or are you going to spend? Oh, geez, it's going to make me search. Or, and you knew this was coming. Or out of the park baseball for $20. I don't know. It's gotten some reviews. There we got our Red Sox fan. He reviewed it back in when did you review it? When did you review it, Al? 2022. So he says it's not a recommendation of the game, but Steam does force you to do a thumbs up, thumbs down. I had written a guide for this back for version 8, but now that guide is no longer in Steam, but people did find it helpful. So Al does, he thinks that a lot of it is quick and intuitive. I think there are some things. I know that Clinton, somewhere, one of these editions also. George Curcio, not surprised that George gave this a thumbs up. He's done a lot of seasons for this game. So a couple thumbs down. I don't think I've ever reviewed this one. Nope, I haven't. Yeah, version 8's the one you shredded. Well, it's quick and intuitive. I think it's yeah. So it's $25 for this, $20 for out of the park baseball. And if I didn't have either, I would probably go for out of the park baseball because it just has, there's just a lot more going on. That's not to knock this game. It's good. But it's also one of those things where you could almost call it a pretty version of Diamond Mind in a way. I don't know. I like it. I am looking forward to the next version, Clinton. I hope it's good. I hope it's awesome. I want to jump down a rabbit hole. I mean, it comes with so many baseball seasons. But it's not intuitive for creating a new library. If you want to see, I'll show you as soon as I can figure out how to get out of the game. I don't want to save and quit, but I guess I'm just going to fast play it to the close. No. So that was stupid. That wasn't intuitive, right? I want to fast play and just be done with the game. And so that sucks. So there's no way to just auto-play the game to the end. You can go to the top of the ninth. So we'll do that. And, of course, this one's over. So, nice. I think. Yep, it's over. So, 2-1 Cincinnati over Pittsburgh. I guess we missed a good one. And, I guess I have to save and exit because I have no other choice. So this is stupid. Why would I save it? Stats are not recorded. Yes, I'm ready to exit the game. Thank you. So if I want to do a new library in this game, it's pretty weird, man, because you're kind of stuck here. We can open a different library. So that's not intuitive. So I would disagree with Al on that. So new library. So I'm going to give it a name, and we'll call it test. I'm not going to do the whole thing here. So I'm going by what I used to know about this game. Okay. So now I have two teams, or I have two. I have this test, and we're going to open test. And now this is when we start bringing in the stuff that we want to do, right? So we're going to manage library. So you can go to options. There's ballpark options, career mode, player picks, drafts, ratings, stuff like that. Okay. But actually, if we go over here, we have to go to our team editor and I think this is import team attributes, except I don't remember what this is. So you're seeing now that this is if you're gonna use this game, play this game, read the guides, because this has changed since I wrote my guide. Go to player editor, says Clinton Parks. Where the hell is player editor? There it is. So yeah, there you go. Oh, thank you. That's for those. Okay, so you can import players from the Lyman database, which is included. You can import players from Baseball Reference. But what I can't remember how to do is how to import teams. Cannot remember how to do that. Follow the old man. I don't want to import. I want to import teams. I want to import teams. I want to just try to pick teams. Right, I can import players from Lyman, but what I want to be able to do is, say, bring in the 1971 Pirates, the 2001 Seattle Mariners, and I should be able to intuitively do that. Really? Okay, trust you. You don't have to scream. By the way, yeah, with caps, YouTube's getting weird about caps. And I need to find out more. A friend of mine, Sword, who streams a lot of No Man's Sky, talked about that he kind of got a little ding from YouTube. So let's import players from Lyman. Okay. I see. So there you go. But what I want to do, I don't want all these guys. So I see how you do it now. But that's not intuitive. If I go to Action PC Baseball, or I go to Out of the Park, it's pretty clear. Alright, so I'm going to clear all of these guys, and I did mention that I wanted 20 of the 2001. So we'll say the 2001, and I've got to clear them all, because all I want is Seattle. Okay, and we'll import Seattle. And there they all are. There's all the Seattle Mariners from 2021. Now, theoretically, does this mean the trick is put them in one league? That I know. Okay, so let's back out of this. And let's see, what do we have for team editor? So now you've got to go into this part and edit. And this is its logo. And of course you don't want neutral ballpark, so you have to go find the ballpark. So it sucks for doing this. I mean, I trust you, Clinton, but this is actually proving my point. This is actually proving my point. But yes, you can do it. Yeah, I can do all that stuff. Clinton, that's fine, man. Do us a video on how to do it. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. So, as a comparison, let's do a comparison. I realize for you it's child's play. This is what I call child's play. Alright, so, granted, I mean, and I'm not going to do this from start, but I'm going to go to this all-star game that we've been doing. I want a team. that I want to put in there. Here's what I do. Rosters, teams, import, and then anything I have installed. So we need a team that we're going to play these guys against anyhow, so I'm going to pick something. Oh, wait, there we go. National League team this time. Let's pick somebody we said from the 40s. So this time I'm going to do the 1940 Cincinnati Reds. Import, yes, exit, 1940 Reds. This is a very, I'm sorry, Clinton, I have to completely disagree with you. What I just did there in Action PC is child play. And I've played the other editions of Digital Diamond Baseball, and this has been my major complaint. The interface is insane. You've got to import all the players, you get them on to Seattle, but then when I go to Seattle, I've got to go to a different screen, and this does it better. And Out of the Park also. Again, maybe it's just we think differently, and I do appreciate you helping me with that. I would not have found that, dude. And I graduated with highest honors with a master's in instructional design, and I'm sorry, but this thing just breaks all kinds of rules. Let me see if I can minimize that and bring this back up, so I can edit. Right there's the logos. I can go look for logos. I know how to do it. That's fine, but I want to change this ballpark. But I have to do ballparks. If I remember correctly, with ballparks, you have to go to a different. Where the hell is it now? Where is it? I can't even remember now. And to be fair, it's been that long that I haven't played it. So, Clinton, you've been playing it, and I know you're using it within that McGreevy League. And since I'm not a seasoned replayer, right? Since I'm not a replayer, right? Yeah, okay. So there's the ballpark editor. Okay, so there's the neutral ballpark, but I'm going to edit that park, and I'm going to find this day image, and I've got to go look for it. Fine. I've got to name it, all this kind of stuff. That's fine. This is kind of sort of baseball for Windows-ish, I should say. I'm not slamming the game. I'm slamming the interface for this. But for replay, it's great. It is great. It's great. So I can import, okay, click here to select a file. But again, I have to find that park database. And I don't know where it's stored in this game. I know exactly where it's stored in Action PC Baseball. I know exactly where that is. This doesn't show me. Edit layouts. Yeah, you can do all kinds of cool stuff. And I can move the picture around, do whatever. That's cool. This is like Action PC. Yeah, I'd rather put a new park than edit. Yeah, I'm not going to edit the neutral park. I'm not going to mess with it at all. My biggest complaint about the game is the interface when you want to work and do customized seasons. And, Clinton, just so you don't think I'm a total idiot, if you go on his original site, I have 2 mixed seasons that I put up there. And I remember it wasn't fun. It was not fun. But I like the game. For what I play right now, this doesn't really suit me. Just me. Version 10, ballpark folder. That's nice, but what directory? I have a ballparks folder for 3 other baseball games on here. So I'm guessing it's if I go to Steam, sure, I'll find it. Let's see. Let's do that just to be fair. Let's go back and let's right click. You're gonna let me do it while it's running? I guess Steam is not gonna do that. Because I can find the files by doing that. But I shouldn't have to. No, okay, so Clinton, now I get to correct you. I get to correct you. I don't know if you're aware of this, but oh my God. Okay, I'm going to, now, Clinton, follow the young man. My turn. Okay. First, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to show you a little trick with Steam that you may not know. Okay. Because yes, this is in Steam. Okay. So it's gone. I'm going to close this. I'm going to show you what you can do with this. If it will let me out. Yes, I want out. I think this was the other one. I couldn't get out of here. That was it. So let's just kill it. I remember now. I had to uninstall this because I got stuck. Alright, hang on, because I want to show you something that would be helpful. Okay, we're just going to end this task. Where are you? Zulu platform. That was it. End task. Just end. Die. Okay. And let's stop it from Steam. Stop. Yes. Confirm. Okay. So, little Steam trick. If this thing will stop. There. When you right-click on something that you have in Steam, and my PC's really struggling now because I've been doing crazy shit on it. Where is it? It's not. Yeah, Steam is like so locked up here. Oof. That's nasty. Because you can always look at files in Steam. Always, 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 always. And this is just going really slowly. So let me see if I can do this with another game. Yeah, see, it's not even letting me do it with Age of Wonders right now. This thing's lagging badly. But I do want to show you this. Alright. Let's find something. Okay, I'll just look at Beat Hazard 3. Alright. So, I don't want to start it. Where is it? I don't know why this is defaulting to collections. It's not what I want. Man, this is having a rough time. Anyhow, you can right-click and you can manage properties. And one of the things that you can do in Steam is browse local files. Right? There you go. Now I don't. Yeah, Control-Delete. I like to work from the Task Manager, which is still running, by the way. There we go. Anyhow, it's a good game. It's a good game. Crappy interface for doing the type of stuff I like to do. That would be my interview. Or my review of it. Seriously. Yeah, definite memory leak. I was running some hardcore stuff. Even before I came on with Action PC. And yeah, this version is, I agree with you, Clinton, it's way better than versions 8 and 9. By far. And I think version 11 is going to be excellent. But that interface is really, really bad. And if I had time, I would install version 8, or even version 7 to show you. But Clinton is right about that. And I do like the game. But for what I do, it's really just not my thing. Anyhow, that's it. Appreciate your help, Clinton, because I could not find my way around that interface. And yeah, look at this. This is lagging way behind. So golden rule, if you're designing anything, the user experience should be as transparent as possible. And this isn't. And this might sound like an ID Jester rant, but you remember his rant on Strat PC baseball game? Same thing here. Same thing here. The user interface sucks for doing specialized things. And I shouldn't have to jump around to this editor and that editor and guess, or have my good friend Clinton Park tell me where to find a certain thing. I should be able to sit down to a baseball game, and I can do it with out of the park baseball, which is really super complex, and it's transparent. Boom, 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 ready to rock. Yeah. JT Dutch, understanding the criticism. Again, horses for courses, I suppose, right? You know, for JT, for Clinton, this thing is probably easy, very easy to navigate. Obviously, for Clinton, it is. And to be fair, Clinton has way more hours in this. I played it for, as of tonight, 45 minutes. I just played it when it came out, and I will buy it. It's gonna get good. I even see that Robbie Wartburg played it for 88 minutes, and then somebody has it on their wish list. So. Take you 20 minutes for the teams? Well, we could race sometime. I would contend that I can do the same thing in Alva Park in half the time, and in Action PC probably less than that. But again, it's Clinton. I'm not trying to argue with you, my friend. This isn't a competition. I'm giving my honest opinion, just as you gave yours when you shredded version 8. You shredded it for different reasons. Yeah, and I did season libraries too for the game. So, no arguing. I'm not here to argue, man. It doesn't work for me. It works for Clinton, and that's cool. But yet, as you see here, and I bought version 6 before this thing ever came on Steam. So I bought version 6, and here you see 7, 8, 9, 10, and you'll see 11 in here when it comes out. If I hated the game, it wouldn't be here. There's no Strat PC down here, so. I hate the interface. I hate it. Just hate it. I mean, I could go to a game right now that I haven't played in ages and be able to fly around the interface faster than I can in this, and I think that says something. The game that I have probably the least playing time on here is the older version of Don Bravia Baseball. Version 13, I could bring it up, and I guarantee you I could create a season in the same amount of time on this, having not touched the 2013 version in the same time that, and much less time that it would take me to create it in this, is my contention. For season replays, yeah, again, it's easy. Boom. Click, play. If you want to bring in teams from different eras, I think it sucks. Straight up, it sucks. That's me, man. Yeah, it is honest. It is honest. And that's all I'm trying to be. Yeah, and I know that you were... I know, Clinton. And I totally agreed with your review. And if we remember back to those times, if you remember, he said, well, fielding doesn't really blah, blah, blah. So what? Because we noticed it. Clinton and I were talking about it. It's like, wait, Clemente had the same arm as an average infielder? And then we're starting looking deeper, and it's like we're seeing these great shortstops having the same rate. So Mark did finally institute that, but nothing was done. And Clinton rightly shredded him for that. That was crazy. MV agrees that it's a clunky interface. But the mini libraries is good. Yeah. JT Dutch says, like, excuse me? Yeah, as if fielding has no impact in the game. Okay. Tell that to Joe DiMaggio. Tell that to Ozzie Smith. Tell it to Roberto Clemente and Dave Parker. Go ahead. Just speaker. It's a good game. And the reason why I'm slamming it so hard is for the interface is because I do like it. I do like it. It's not like I just can, say, yeah, it's $25. What the hell? Toss it out the window. No, I bought it because I like it. But I'd like to see improvements. Potential JT Dutch is definitely there. And I respect the fact that Clinton can navigate this bad boy. I really do. I respect it. I totally respect that. I can't, And I'm probably in Egypt for that matter. The Diamond Mine Baseball, I think, is super easy to work around. If my computer doesn't blow up here, probably will. Yeah, it's not liking it. It hasn't even brought up Diamond Mine, has it? Let me see. Oh, yeah, it did. There it is. So there, right? So, file. Change active database. 1906. Boom, it's gone, or it's there. If you want to bring in teams from different years, super easy in Diamond Mine Baseball. So easy to do in Diamond Mine, easy to do in Action PC, dead easy to do in Out of the Park Baseball, even easy to do, believe it or not, in the freeware Pure Sim Baseball. Easy to do in Dombrov. Kind of weird in Baseball for Windows, but still not bad. So if I can get around what do I count off there? 6 baseball games, and the 7th is giving me miseries. Got to be some issue with the interface, at least in my mind. Just so you guys know, the players come from Laman. The fielding stats come out of Baseball Reference. That's interesting to know, Clinton. I did not do that. He says, keep in mind I spent 14 of his 20 years in Canadian data processing, doing programming more, I do research, and became basically a miner. Good for you, man. Again, I'm not disrespecting you, brother, at all. At all. So, and I know my credentials, and I know that this is a bad interface. That if he was doing, and in fact, all you have to do is look at the website and also see bad design. A user interface, user experience should be as transparent as possible, that somebody can sit down and be able to find what he wants. And I don't see that in Digital Diamond, and that's really my only big complaint about it. Clean up the interface, make it a little bit more intuitive for people that want to do specialized projects, and that's fine. Season replayers, you guys, it's cool. It's cool. Victim of spaghetti programming. I would take that. It works. Definitely. Woolsworth Gamer says, so pay more for it. $79.99 or more for base game each year. Good money for seasons of DLC. WTB Sim Baseball. What am I missing there? Because I'm tired, so I'm not really sure what that is. Wait, WTB Sim Baseball on consoles. I'm not sure what that is, World's Worst Gamer. It's probably... Oh, he's willing to buy. Okay, baseball sim and consoles. Well, I just recently learned. I didn't know this, but MLB The Show, you can actually manage both teams. You don't have to play it as a Twitch game. So I guess MLB The Show is kind of like that. I don't know, Ken, because you like the dulcet sound of my voice. I have no idea. JT just says, if Diamond Mine had Out of the Park's bells and whistles, it would probably be his perfect game. Yeah. I don't know, Ken, because you're cool and you hang out. And Robbie wasn't sure he was going to do a game, so. And I'm actually ready to knock off here. So. All in all, though, it's a cool game. All in all, it's a cool game. And looking forward to version 11. Anyhow, thank you guys. Yeah, Robbie Wartburg's poking the tiger. He says to Kenny, because you secretly love computer baseball sims. Alright, MV, if you don't mind, I'll check it tomorrow. No, Dombrov is based upon Sports Illustrated Baseball. And I don't want to be unfair to Richard and show it till he gets me this next patch. Hey, the Cubs, the Bears. Yep. Yeah, Dombrov's pretty cool. Janky animation, but Richard with a nice update this year. So, saying hi to Cubs, the Bears, as we're about ready to sign it off. Ken Castro says 55 years of cards and dice and a virtual trash bins of past PC games. Only one is still going is Diamond Mine Baseball. Play what you love. Play what you love. Alright, guys. Tomorrow night we will continue. 2 games left in the Ned McGreevy Baseball League. And it's not getting any easier, is it? Cleveland losing tonight to Philadelphia, so we have a tie for second and a tie for third now. And Manchester just having a good laugh. And Bellingham and Butler not out of it yet either. So, but 2 games, I don't see those two actually catching up. But it was a fun season. Good stuff. Yeah, let's not get into dust about cards and dice. I think they're both good. Yeah. So anyhow, my thanks to a rough estimate of the final 3 games. Just so you can organize your sleep time. I'll post it in Discord tomorrow. MV, as I'll have my schedule for the week and I'll be able to know. I know I have a day off this week. Since I just had this weekend off, I have a day off this week because I know I have to work next Saturday until 2:30. But it's good. It'll be done this week, and then we'll do our little World Series the following week. So tomorrow night there will be Ned McGreevy doubleheader, and I'm hoping Tuesday night. Hoping, if not Wednesday. Okay. Show standing again. I'm not sure what cousin is asking here. Oh, show standings again. Yeah, absolutely. And pardon all my icons and hopefully Action PC. Yeah, so I should learn, don't do super intensive stuff before I come on here, even though this computer's pretty wicked fast. But yeah, I'm dealing with a little memory leak. That's Windows, you gotta love it. Because I did a check of the memory, everything's fine. So, alright. So final check of the standings coming up. Cards and dice. Okay, so here we are. Final check of the standings. Again, Manchester, of course, won the pennant a few days ago, finishing 8 games in front as opposed to 2 games the last time we did it. Philadelphia and Cleveland tied for second. Identical records, 77 and 71. Providence and Bellingham tied for third, 76 and 72. Providence must win. Providence in a must-win situation. And Bellingham is playing St. Louis. So it's a lot of trickiness. Butler. So Butler is 2 games out. So Butler is right Liverpool and on down, as you guys see there. Liverpool, Arsenal, Carolina, St. Louis. They are out of it, like way out of it. Butler has a chance, and they're playing Liverpool. So there we go. Ken Castro says he's boycotting the World Series because Action PC screwed Billy Hamilton when he was away. That's funny. That's good. That is good. Robbie, it's still early-ish for you. You're going to do a game for the guys tonight. It's only 11:30 where you are. Probably a couple people still want some baseball, and you can provide it there, my friend. All right, well, guys, Robbie's going to do some, I guess, 1920. Only 9:30 over here. I wish I could stay on and do another one, JT. I got to get up though at 7, so long day at work tomorrow, first day of the week. World's Worst Gamer says to JT Dutch, he says when he moves into his mansion that has a cards and dice themed gaming room, then he'll play it all the time. When I finally get to meet up with Cousin Ken, hopefully get a chance to chuck some dice with him. I think that'll be a blast. Looking forward to that. Hopefully. All right, Robbie Wartburg, I guess, doing some 1920s, the 1920 season in baseball for Windows. Oh, you bet, JT Dutch, and thank you for just always bringing in just great contributions. So thank you. So to Ken Castro, JT Dutch, world's worst gamer. And this is definitely losing its here because now it's doing weird stuff. Anyhow, guys, so many of you in here. I just want to thank you all for coming in tonight. I'm these scrollies. I got the scrollies. Clinton Parks, Cubs, Bears. MV, I already said MV. We always say, and tonight we can say thank you to Midlife Crisis because he was actually here. And Robbie Wartburg, thank you. Aaron Reed, and that as far back as I can go is JT Dutch's comment about Walter Johnson having a 1.08 under an average. So that's it. Okay, guys. Till next time, I'll see you round the base paths. Good night. And around the batting cage.